All right. Hello, viewers of PACE2019.
So we've got a run of Twilight Princess for you by Zaylu here, and then we've got Gymnast86 here, and myself, which is Kayak Ace, commentating for you. And you feeling ready over there, Zaylu?
More or less.
All right.
Zaylu is ready.
All right. What's up, Pace? How you guys doing? So I'm tired. You guys are tired. Let's have some fun playing Twilight Princess. All right, got it. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good luck.
Good luck, Zaylu.
All right, so this game starts out right away, pretty much. There isn't much downtime at the start. So first things first, unlike other Zelda games, you can actually skip the intro cutscene here, which is good. This intro cutscene's around the same as OOTs, and we don't even have to watch it. So I'm going to grab this rock, and I'm going to bring it over to the bridge, and I'm going to use the rock to clip through this gate so I can skip Ord on day 1 and 2. And I'm going to let my commentators explain that.
Yeah, so usually at the start, you're supposed to perform a bunch of tasks in Ordon Village to get like the fishing rod and a couple other basic items like a slingshot. But yeah, like you said, you use this rock to clip through the gate, and then after clipping through the gate, he's actually going to roll across the bridge and do a strat to where he's going to void out and he's going to reset the console at the same time. And then it's essentially just going to put him on the title screen, but he's also like voiding out.
Yeah, so unfortunately right there, he was a frame late with pulling up the map, but that's okay.
Yeah, so this trick is called Back in Time, and it puts you on the title screen, and then what you can do is you can take the title screen, like file state, and then save it to your actual file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the title screen file has several useful properties that aid in doing the beginning of the speedrun.
This gate's a little annoying because it's very finicky.
Yeah, whether or not you actually clip through the gate is RNG based on like what the time is currently.
So the D-pad's really stupid there. So the D-pad on the GameCube controller is notoriously terrible. So I have to reset the console right now because I have 1 heart, and you can't do this trick with 1 heart. It's kind of unfortunate. These types of things happen. If you watch Twilight Princess streams, you'll really often see runners just resetting in the first minute of the run constantly.
Yeah, it's not
And this is
uncommon
why.
to like get stuck here for like 10, 15 minutes just trying to get this trick.
Yeah, I've had streams where I'm here for an hour, and then I play the game for 7 minutes, and then I reset again, and I'm back here. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
You know, safety save this time? Or?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the beginning of this run has a lot of tricks that are like really hard to perform and can kill your run if you don't do them correctly. At least if you're going for like PB attempts and such, because they usually take a while to retry.
Alright, so just in case it happens again, he's going to actually get into this next area and then save. So that way, if in case he fails it, he can just reset the console and then not need to go through the gate again.
Yeah, so by saving here, he can then just respawn directly in this area if he happens to fail it again a few more times. He'll also respawn on this side of the bridge if he ends up failing it, so we can just retry it instantly.
Of course I get a first try. Of course.
Yeah.
First try.
Alright, so yeah, he's on the title screen, and he's going to void out to get rid of the press start to like start the game thing, and then he's going to save and take this game state to his main file.
Yeah, we're not used to having to do back in time where we already have a file that exists.
Wait, did you not save?
Yeah, because usually like you just press A and it automatically saves the file, but he has to select yes to overwrite the file.
Yeah, that's just muscle memory going against me there. It's fine. We're just warming up. Don't worry.
2 times in a row. Wow.
Yeah, we're just getting the nerves out, you know, warming up. It's fine.
We're just giving you the full TP experience here.
Yeah, this is... Twilight Princess can be a very frustrating game to speedrun sometimes.
All right, we did it. Okay, so like with most Zelda games, rolling is the fastest form of movement. Your movement speed is highly influenced by slopes, so you want to make sure to chain rolls as best as possible going up them, because if you drop a roll while walking up a slope, your speed decreases by a lot. And if bad rolls can like really lose you a lot of time over the course of the run.
Yeah, it may not seem like very significant when you're just like looking at it, because you can't really visually see the difference in speed if you're not looking carefully, but it does waste quite a bit of time if you get bad rolls versus good rolls. So the title screen file that Zelu saved over is what gave Link the Hero's Tunic, the Hylian Shield, and the Orden Sword. And this is really useful because it allows us to go over and save Talo and the monkey immediately. Because even though we didn't like activate that quest, they're still like always active in the cage in front of the Forest Temple at the beginning of the game.
And it is actually possible to go save Tala, and what he's doing now without getting Sword and Shield, without being back in time. But it takes longer because you actually have to push a Bakawan basically across an entire like area, and then have it killed by a shopkeeper.
Yeah, so it's slower, and you don't get the useful effects of back in time with that.
And it's more difficult.
Yeah.
This key's actually skippable, but it takes like 3 hours to skip or something like that.
Yeah.
We have enough time for that, right?
Yeah, so there are a few things in this run that, or this game that you can skip by doing what we call a rupee slide. You won't actually be doing any of them in this run, but if you open a chest, then you kind of just, if you don't get rid of the text box from the item for the chest, Link sways back and forth very slightly while holding the item out with the text box up, and then he actually can just slide great distances and then go through collision while in that state.
Yeah, Link is essentially moving so slowly that the collision detection doesn't get activated.
I should say, it's not just after opening chests. Like if you pick up a rupee on the ground.
Yeah, anything where Link holds in the item out in front of him.
Yeah, so if you didn't have the Sword and Shield, you have to take these Bokoblins, push them all the way down this slope, and then all the way over to the little shop at the start of this area. And then the bird actually will kill them for you. This is a very happy monkey.
All right, so this is where we're going to get into some stuff that you normally don't do in the run, or normally don't do in a casual playthrough. So obviously I already have the Sword and Shield and Hero's Clothes, but there are extra benefits from doing back in time. Those benefits also have their downsides, but for the most part we can get around them. So I'm going to do goats here, like you normally would in a casual playthrough, but after this I will be doing something a little bit different. Goats, on the other hand, are really, 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 really dumb. It's probably the hardest. Actually, no, I'm not going to say that. It's one of the hardest things to master in this run.
Yeah, it can be like really irritating to get to this point in the run and then lose time to goats being stupid.
Yeah, I just didn't press A.
And they're very, very sensitive, and sometimes their range from which they can like sense a Epona from changes. Like with a few of the goats, sometimes you can be right next to the goat and it won't see you. Sometimes you can be like really far away from it and it'll see you. Also, it should be noted that's the second time you're supposed to do goats. Back in time also skips like one of the goat herding sessions.
All right, so here's what I mentioned before with back in time having some benefits, or having some unexpected benefits. So right now, I'm going to walk into Bo's house, and nice. I'm gonna walk into Bo's house, and we're gonna talk to him. So normally, you would just continue on here, but because I've done back in time, one of the flags that's set from it is Epona is tamed. And Epona being tamed tells the game that you're supposed to get Iron Boots. So even though we kind of have a bunch of different states of Ordon Village layered on top of each other, I can go into Bo's house and talk to him individually for each of these text boxes for a cutscene that actually happens later in the game and get him to wrestle me to get the Iron Boots early.
Yes.
Saves a lot of time.
Specifically, the Epona tamed flag that Zelu was talking about was the process of taming Epona in Kakariko Village once you normally get rid of the Twilight there.
So this is rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah.
Bo can do 3 different things, you can do 3 different things, and you just want to hope that you get that right there. That's exactly what you want.
Perfect RNG so far. Yeah, so there's 2 phases to this like rock, paper, scissors match, essentially. On the first phase, there's actually a move where Bo does nothing, and you pretty much just automatically win, which is what happened that time. All right. Yeah, that would be acceptable in like regular PB attempts.
Yeah, I would take that. So to fight Bo there, what you want to do is slap him, and then if you mash fast enough after a slap, or after hitting him with a slap, you could push him off in 1 turn. Normally he would shake you off, and then you would have to, go through rock, paper, scissors again. If he pushes you off, like he did for me on the second phase, it's actually not that big of a deal. If you can mash fast enough, you could still get him off in 1, but a lot of people just aren't really capable of mashing that fast. I don't remember the exact inputs per second. It's probably 13 or higher, but I'm not sure. It's definitely somewhere between 13 and 15, though.
All right, so getting the Iron Boots is early is important for a few reasons. One, it's just convenient, because after goats, you're right there. Second one is that there's actually something he's going to do. Because of having back in time, you can't come back to Ordon Village after going through the sewers without clearing Fair and Twilight.
Link's got a nice tunic.
He does. Looks really good on him.
I think the boots are the best part of his outfit.
I really like his hat. All right, so I'm going to do a small time saver here, or at least I'm going to go for it.
Small time saver. This is the biggest time saver in the round.
Yeah,
Biggest.
This saves 3 frames if he gets it.
Hey, my name is Zelu, and I can't count to 7. All right, so what I wanted to do there was pull the chain 7 times and then do a combo attack. And what that would have let me do is break the box at the same time that the cutscene starts. And that saves 3 frames over what I just did there. It's not really a big deal whether you get it or not. And by not a big deal, I mean it was the most important trick on the run. And unfortunately, this run's dead now, so.
Yeah, this is very unfortunate, but.
It's the most controversial trick in TP speedrunning.
Yeah.
If you don't get that trick, you can't get world record.
There's occasional debates over whether or not runs without that trick should be allowed on the leaderboard or not.
Yeah, I say we should ban them, to be honest.
Ooh, good sense there.
Gotta get the swag strats in there. So this area is pretty much just a tutorial zone for Wolf, using Wolf movement and all the different Wolf abilities. For the most part, it's pretty basic. There's not really anything too special that we do here. We did used to save in this area. However, recently, or semi-recently I should say, there was actually a time saver found that meant we don't have to save over here anymore. Really nice.
You do want to be careful to avoid taking damage from the little Twilight vermin if possible, just because there are a couple tricks coming up where there's potential to need to take damage, and if you obviously don't want to be too low in health.
Yeah, in No Save and Quit, it's actually a lot worse, considering you go from the beginning of the game to now without save quitting, and obviously you go through the rest of the game without save quitting, so your health is the same. So it's really, really common to, get down to like a quarter heart in that category, or just straight up die, depending on how much damage you took at the beginning of the game. There's actually a tech skip there if I jump at the right angle, but it's really weird to get, actually. It's better to just fail it and hit the text than to fail it and not hit the text, because then I'll have to either try again or hit the text, which can lose a lot of time.
Also, whenever he does these jumps with Midna, and there's text at the very start before he's actually able to do them, just with the jumps coming up here, after the text is cleared, you actually have like 1 frame where you can jump immediately without waiting for Midna to travel up to the spot that Link is trying to jump to. There are a lot of little 1-frame things that save time in this game.
Like that?
Yeah, that one too. Usually there's supposed to be text there, again, from Midna, but you can jump attack out of it before it actually starts.
For some reason, I really feel like that one isn't 1 frame. I feel like it's so rare to see a runner miss that one that like it has to secretly be 2 frames. Like I feel like everyone's just lying, saying it's a 1-frame trick.
There's also a movement technique that we use in Twilight Princess called dash canceling. So whenever you do a dash as Wolf Link, you have to wait 2 seconds before you can do another dash. But if you cancel the dash with an action like a jump or a B attack right after you begin the dash within like the first 11 frames or something, then you can do another dash immediately when you get the opportunity to. So that's like just a general movement technique to save a little bit of time here and there.
Oops, sorry.
Alright, so we're going to pay a visit to our good friend, Hugo.
Yeah, this next trick is probably what kills a lot of people's motivation to learn this game. It takes a very long time to learn. It takes even longer to master it. So hopefully I can show it off pretty well here.
Alright, so this here is Hugo. He's going to be our best pal for the next 40, 50 seconds. He's going to follow us around. And we're going to bring him to the Twilight Trigger. You're supposed to go and get the sword and shield from Ordon Village before entering the Twilight. And the game doesn't actually sense that you have the Highland sword and shield because in your inventory. Because they're not in your inventory. So Midna requires you to have a sword and shield to enter the Twilight. But we can't go get it because of Twilight as well. So we're going to put Hugo in front of the trigger for Midna telling you need to get a sword and shield. And then he's going to jump attack Hugo from a certain position and make him fly out over the trigger for Midna.
It's a little bit too far back right now. Need him to be just a touch farther forward. The positioning for Hugo is pretty precise. Oh.
Alright, so what he tried to do there was attack Hugo after he put him into the air. So you attack him once to make him fly back over the trigger, and then you attack him a second time to jump over the trigger for Midna, again trying to get the sword and shield, and then you're supposed to fly over the trigger for entering the Twilight. Unfortunately, it can be a pain sometimes because Hugo can just keep attacking you from really bad positions.
Yeah, most of my problem there was just impatience, honestly. That's a big problem with this trick. It's really easy to get impatient and want to rush it, but you really have to take your time with it sometimes, especially if you just want to be very consistent.
Yeah, like sometimes Hugo can just like sit there and just swing his club nonstop for like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a fun trick.
And other times he just won't swing at all for the same period of time.
Alright, there we go. Very nice. Yeah, so it's really good that this trick is possible. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to incorporate back in time into the run.
So why are we running this on, or why is the original faster than the HD version? So the HD version actually doesn't have back in time, right? And it also can't do EMS.
Well, yeah, in the HD version, Nintendo like implemented like 3 separate patches to prevent players from doing back in time, which was kind of ridiculous.
So EMS is a trick where you get the Master Sword early. That's what it stands for, Early Master Sword. And that's going to be coming up in a moment, a couple minutes.
Yeah, so the Master Sword is located in the Sacred Grove, which is accessible from the Farron region. Normally you need to normally you need to have beaten the Lakebed Temple first, though, and have gone through the Midna's Desperate Hour quest to access the Sacred Grove. But thanks to some glitches, we can access the Sacred Grove pretty early in this game. And because you need to go through it as Wolf Link normally, and because we're conveniently Wolf Link right now, we can actually go through the entire Sacred Grove to get the Master Sword.
Unlike most 80% runs, I'm actually going to get the Elden Vessel first, so I'm going to be doing a bit of a different route. And that's mostly just because I want to show it off. And, you know, a lot of people haven't really seen the parts of the game that this route shows off. But also this route's a little bit easier. So we're going to get the Elden Vessel. We're going to get, sorry, not Elden. We're going to get the Farron Vessel here and actually clear this Twilight. This is for a few reasons. But mainly because I need to get Ending Blow at some point. Normally in 80%, you would get Ending Blow from a different Howling Stone. So all the Howling Stones in this game...
Gotta get that tier.
I know. All the Howling Stones in this game are locked. You have to get certain hidden skills in order. And if you don't get Ending Blow, if you howl at a Howling Stone, you will always spawn a wolf that will give you Ending Blow. So normally in 80%, I would actually howl at a stone and then go get Ending Blow a lot later into the run, but instead, I'm just gonna get it right now.
And so the reason Zelu skipped the first 2 tiers that he went by is because he's going to have to run back through this area anyway later on before clearing the Twilight. So he's just going to get the tiers when he runs back. And same with these bugs.
Also, anytime he digs into the ground, you can actually get a 1-frame dash as he comes out before Midnight gets on his back, which is a little tiny time save.
Yeah, I only didn't go for the first one because I needed to kill those 2 bugs. I'll be going for it when I go back through that area again. So these bugs I'm also gonna skip.
So that right there was the first frame jump out of the minute text.
And I'm gonna grab these 2 bugs. So these are the last 2 bugs I'm gonna grab before my revisit to this area. And that's just because they're kind of out of the way. I could, technically, just not grab any bugs, get the Master Sword, and then come back to this area, but it's just a little bit faster to do some alternate strats. So coming up as EMS, this is the second trick in the game that a lot of people learn and give up on. It's another trick that I like to call a dynamic trick. It takes a lot there's a lot of factors to it, and those factors are always shifting, they're always changing. So you have to really understand how to do these types of tricks, like EMS and Shortness Skill Kip, in order to get them on all, let alone be consistent.
Alright,
Nice.
cool. So right there, you just lured the messenger against the wall and brought him to a certain spot, and then if you attack him, when the messenger does a certain swing, you can actually get Link to just jump up over the wall there. Now, in the HD version, that trick was patched actually by them just adding a giant barrier around that area.
Barrier, you say?
Barrier.
Well, yeah, they added an extra invisible wall in that area, and they also prevented the Shadow Beasts from doing the slow swing attack, which is pretty much mandatory if you want to get the high enough jump up onto the ledge. I think you can do it with the really fast one, but it's like really precise and rare that someone actually gets it.
Right there, I went for a quick climb. On certain corners of the game, you can actually run into them as Wolf and climb. You'll like climb and clip into the corner a little bit, which will skip your climbing animation. It only saves like a second or 2 depending on where you do it. That one's really tricky. I think a lot of the other ones that we go for in this run are much more consistent, but that one seems to be really finicky.
So yeah, we're just going to be going through the Sacred Grove relatively normally, except just with the fastest route that we know of.
Yeah, the Skull Kid is always in the same 3 spots.
You know, this would be a fantastic time for donations if we had any.
Let's see, greetings from Germany. Frame the animals, kill the saves.
So we have $7,455 from Chaotic Ace.
Wow, I didn't know you were rich, Ace.
Alright, so coming up is the Skull Kid fight. I am going to try to hit him as soon as possible. And to do that, I need to kill at least one of his puppets, I guess. One of his puppets before he will blow his horn to spawn more. While he does that, he's vulnerable to attack. Sometimes it's a little bit weird to hit him, and you'll either land in front of him or jump past him. Hopefully that doesn't happen, because it's a little annoying and hard to react to. The only problem when that happens is it's very easy to then miss a cycle and have to wait a little bit longer. I'm gonna be collecting rupees here. I'm gonna need 300 rupees to access City on the Sky. So I want to collect at least 30 spare rupees on the ground, 40 spare rupees on the ground, something like that. And then I have the rest of my rupees are pretty much guaranteed in the route. That was a good fight. Got some rupees there too, which is good.
Yeah, the general strategy there is you want to sort of stay away from Skull Kid until he becomes vulnerable so the puppets don't surround him and mess up your L targeting. Oh man, another rupee.
7 rupees here, I'm rich.
Alright, so this puzzle is completely random. Hopefully he gets it first try.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Oh, he's going for the risky one.
I need a 1% RNG occurrence to happen for this to work.
Will he able to go through the puzzle?
Oh man, they turned the right direction there, that's good.
Yeah, gotten good RNG so far. Will they follow him on this next turn?
Oh.
They did. All right.
Alright, here's the last one. Let's see.
All right, and...
Oh, they did it.
Oh, man, excellent.
They did it, yep.
Wow. Amazing RNG.
Fantastic.
It's 100% chance of happening.
Alright, and now we have the Master Sword.
So that puzzle obviously isn't random. The statues always spawn in the same spot, and then they just react to your movement the same way every time.
Excuse me, Mr. Zelu, why aren't you skipping this cutscene?
Oh, sorry, let me try.
Oh wow, that's dumb. Why can't we skip this cutscene?
I don't really know. I guess it's really important.
Yeah, must be.
You know what? I think if we find a way to skip this cutscene, it'll take us to Ganon.
Oh, maybe you're right, yeah. That's how that works, right? You skip cutscenes and you go to Ganon.
If I've seen enough ZFG, then yeah, that's how that works.
Alright, so getting the Master Sword early is important for a few reasons. One of them is that you can transform into a wolf whenever you want, so that increases movement speed. And then the other one is that you can now warp whenever you want.
Yeah, getting the Master Sword early is pretty much like the backbone of how this entire early game route works, because it heavily depends on being able to transform into, or between Wolf Link and Human Link whenever you want, especially in Twilight sections.
It was actually for a while impossible to do early Master Sword for a couple reasons in 100%, and it was kind of like this community effort to go find it. I think at one point when Hope was getting, Hope was really dying to get early Master Sword in 100%, people were debating playing on Wii because there's like a couple version differences on Wii that potentially made it faster than GameCube at the time for that category. But I think probably like a week after that, they figured out a few things that made EMS in 100% possible. So now every category of the GameCube version of this game does it. Or I think, yeah, every category of Wii would also do it. I'm not too familiar with Wii 100%, but I assume.
I don't know, is Habrino in chat to confirm for us?
The Wii Master.
Nice first frame dash.
Thanks. I practice those. Apparently, I don't practice back in time, though. My goal.
All right, so right now he's just going to run back through and collect the tears from all the bugs that he killed, but he didn't actually collect tears for. And then he's actually not going to collect all of them right now, though. He's going to get to the last 2 bugs and kill them, but we're going to enter Forest Temple first before clearing the Twilight. This fog is really annoying. It's super easy to like walk slightly too far, or do like 1 too many rolls and just void out in it.
Oh, that was scary.
Now the reason he didn't kill those bugs before when he came here through here the first time is that the first time you come through here, you actually trigger a cutscene of them digging into the ground, and then you have to dig them out of the ground before killing them. But if you come back the second time, the cutscene isn't there, but the bugs come out of the ground, so you can just kill them without needing to actually dig them out.
One benefit of this route over the other route, since I'm clearing the Twilight, it just so happens that I'm Wolf here. In the other route for NA%, you actually are human rolling around here, and killing these shadow beasts is really, really annoying, and not heavily, but fairly RNG dependent. So it's just nice for consistency's sake.
Yeah, also, if for some reason you accidentally kill those messengers before actually doing EMS, the run will pretty much be over.
Yeah.
Because you need it to continue.
Well, unless you saved beforehand, but most people wouldn't safety save there. It's not very likely that you're going to do that.
Yeah. I actually did do that when I did the 3D Zelda challenge. I accidentally killed both shadow beasts, but I did save, so I only lost like 3 minutes.
I remember that. You did them in order, didn't you?
No, I started with Twilight Princess, so it was only like 25 minutes into the entire challenge.
Oh, but still, you don't really want to start again.
Yeah.
All right, so remember that trick at the beginning of the game? Let's do that again. Oh my god, why can't I see anything? All right, so I got frame late there. This is actually, okay, this might be an issue. Earlier on, I could see, but now I can't. So Ace, I'm sorry, I didn't do your strat. We're gonna hope that that worked. It didn't, that's cool.
That's why we saved beforehand.
Yep. Well, I need to save beforehand anyway, because I need to load this file again. So what I'm trying to do is a 1-frame trick. Pretty much the same. Dude, really? Pretty much the same trick that I was doing earlier. It's a little bit trickier here.
Yeah, so with typical marathon luck, he's getting... All right, so that time he got the frame, but he unfortunately wasn't in the correct position to bypass the loading zone.
Yeah, so he's doing back in time again with voiding out and resetting the console at the same time. But this time he's just actually jump attacking over the loading zone at the start of Forest. And then using that as a void.
Oh my god.
Keys are amazing.
I really hope you guys are having fun with this, because I know I am.
It's alright. Got this.
All right, there we go. Nice.
I might have reset too early. I didn't. Good.
Okay, so he's using this trick actually to set a flag in the game that is going to give him monkeys in this dungeon without him actually needing to go collect the monkeys individually.
Yeah. So right here, he's going to skip a cutscene for the King Bulblin fight, which he loaded into with Back in Time, and the specific flag that that gets set when he loads into that fight, the game essentially is counting down from a very high value when it sets that flag, and by resetting the game will actually stop counting down that value, but it'll keep it in memory for us to use. And the specific flag that I'm referring to, which gets set, is known as the boss flag. But for some reason, the boss flag, which is used to determine like if a boss cutscene should load or not, is also the same value that's used in memory to determine how many monkeys that you have in Forest Temple, just by pure coincidence for some reason. So when Zelu goes through the room after this one, he's suddenly going to get a whole bunch of monkeys because the boss flag value is set to some number between like 4 and 39, I want to say. He's not going to get like 39 monkeys. The maximum he's going to get is 4, but any value above 4 will work for getting the monkeys.
I wish we got 39 monkeys.
Yeah, getting 39 monkeys would be pretty funny. It would probably lag the game a lot, though.
It would be worth it, though.
So yeah. Oh, hey, look, more monkeys. Wow. And then, of course, these monkeys can be used to cross the gap here without having to go and actually save any, except for the first one. Now it's time for everyone's favorite monkey, Ook. So Ook hops around randomly in this fight. We're hoping that he hops around the least amount of times possible, which is 2, but we're currently at 6, 7, 8. All right, that was pretty bad, actually.
It was pretty bad, but it wasn't quite 26.
Yeah, not quite 26, which is the worst RNG we've ever seen.
Yeah, that's what I was going for, unfortunately.
Would really round out this run.
Alright, so it's really nice that we can use Back in Time to get the monkeys early because the first bit of this dungeon was really annoying. Also, no save and quit since it can't use Back in Time. Since that requires saving and quitting, actually has to get the monkeys.
Yeah, getting the monkeys to, well, at least to get to the Gale Boomerang is like a 2-minute detour. Because now that we have the Gale Boomerang, we're actually finished in this dungeon. It's also very convenient that we have the Master Sword here because it allows us to do a 1 cycle on Ook. Whereas if we still had the Orden Sword, we'd have to do 2 cycles on Ook, which means we'd have to take our chances with 2 RNG hopping sections.
Just a quick save warp to get back to the start of the dungeon. Have you ever seen Link become a seahorse?
Wow.
There it is.
I don't know, Link had it in him.
Now you've seen it.
All right, so there's a 1 frame back flip here to skip the text box. Can I get it? Nope.
Oh well, run sucks. Everyone go home. Yeah, so at the end of the Twilight section there, the game expects Link to be in the wolf form, so it tries to construct his polygons to be a specific pose on Wolf Link, but obviously when it tries to do that with Human Link, it gets very strange results. So that's why the seahorse thing happens. Also, Zelu is now doing a trick known as Fair and Escape with the Gale Boomerang, using a long jump attack, which is the main glitch that the Gale Boomerang allows us to do, and saves a pretty incredible amount of time in Twilight Princess. It's also really fun to perform.
But if you say anything about that, I am walking off the stage. Just don't. I see you smiling over there.
So the main gist of the back-end, or excuse me, not the back-end time, the long jump attack trick is that when Link is targeting an object in this game, if the object is very far away, Link will try to adjust his jump attack speed to make sure he gets all the way over to the object. But the Gale Boomerang is also considered an object that Link can target, and it just so happens that we can pull out our sword after throwing the Gale Boomerang to then do a jump attack to it. So it allows us to pretty much take the long jump attack wherever we want. There are some requirements for it to work, though. The Gale Boomerang either has to be over a void, or it has to be over a surface that is higher than Link's feet if you want to get the full speed of a long jump attack.
So I tried to do an LJ there to skip that mailman cutscene, but I decided to press the A button about 3 light years too early, so I didn't get it there. I had to wait for the boomerang to be clipped out of bounds to fulfill the conditions that Jim had explained.
It's coming up, we have Gorgewood.
Yeah, Gorgewood.
Yeah.
Just kidding, this route Zayla's doing doesn't use it.
I bite the gorge, though.
Gonna bite
Very
the gorge,
important
yeah.
trick.
Bite the gorge.
Big
Yeah.
Bite the gorge.
Throw that Gorge's boss. So usually with the fastest route, right here, after you kill the messengers, you would attempt to jump attack into the gorge and void out before the cutscene of the portal spawning happens. And the benefit of that is that you void out, you respawn in the area, and then you're not forced to warp away. Whereas watching this cutscene here, you're forced to warp away. So you void out, and then you get over the gorge and go get the warp in Kakariko, and then you come back and warp away. Whereas if you're forced to warp away now, you have to run all the way back here in order to get the Kakariko warp.
So I'm going to run through this area one more time. It's going to be exactly the same thing. I do have to do Force Escape again, but it's the minimum amount of times that I have to do Force Escape in any percent. I keep saying in any percent as if I'm not doing any percent. In the fastest route, or I should say like the world record route, you actually would have to do this a 3rd time, which is a little lame. It's not that hard of a trick, but it's really easy to lose time. If you walk into this, if you just walk into the minute trigger here, it loses 10 seconds, which is very easy to do. It's not like the easiest thing in the world to walk Link into this trigger. You have to be pretty close in order to get the LJ all the way past.
Nice quick spin.
But in this route, it's a maximum of 2 times you have to do it, which is the same as, you know, if you get Gorge Void in the fastest route or the world record route. Because somebody, like, I already know Dragon Bane's going to be like, well, technically this route is 4 frames faster if you do everything perfectly.
Yeah, Dragon Bane is essentially the
Twilight Princess Guru,
yeah.
one of them.
Also, Zelu's pulling back the free cam right now, just to reduce a little bit of lag in Hyrule Field. And now he's coming up to this gate.
Which does not exist. It looks like it does, but this
Yeah.
gate actually isn't here. And he's going to pretend to skip it.
Sorry, the gate showed up there, and then I
Yeah,
looked away
that was
for a
weird. I've
second.
never
Bad
seen
camera
that.
angle. It
Yeah,
rendered,
you know.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
So you
But-
actually just side hop through the gate there if you line up correctly. You bonk into it, and then while the gate's moving back and forth, if you have a good position, you just side hop through the gate as it swings a little bit.
So what we used to do was actually grab Epona and bonk into that gate as a human until it would finally let us through. And it took years to find that strat, which is infinitely easier. So we've also arrived at another trick that I will either get first try and make look very easy, or reveal it for the motivation killer to learn this game that it really is. So this is Pillar Clip, and yeah, let's...
It's about as straightforward as it looks. He's going to use the iron boots to sink down, and then he's going to clip through this, clip through the wall using this pillar, and then swim to lake bed early.
Yeah, there's a lot of nuance to this trick, though. So, hopefully he will get it.
That should be it.
Yeah, this should be fine. Link's gonna have to float up after a few seconds. And now, by repeatedly putting on and off the iron boots, Zelu can make his way into the Lakebed Temple loading zone.
All
Yeah,
right, cool.
see? It's an easy trick, Zelu.
Yeah, easy.
Easy clap.
So that trick was accompanied by the greatest tutorial in any speedrun ever, Venix's tutorial, where he spends 5 minutes telling you how to get into a position and then just tells you, and then you just clip, and the video ends.
You just clip. Easy.
All right, so there are a few things to note here. Getting the iron boots early is the reason we can do that. Also, if you come here without doing EMS, you actually cannot leave Lunary's Twilight, because you cannot warp out. Warping out's the only way to leave Lunary's Twilight if you come here early, so early Master Sword is required for that. Also, at the start here, when he save warps, he actually bypassed the tunnel, needing to swim through the tunnel at the start, which is linked to getting the Master Sword early as well.
Yeah, having the Master Sword in your inventory is what allows you to skip the tunnel at the beginning with a save warp. Because right now, Zelu doesn't have the Zora armor. He will have it later, but for this point in the run, can't get it yet.
Props for going for that jump attack.
I was in like a weird position there. I've never actually seen, like I've seen people just jump off there, but I've never seen, you know, landing on the top and then sliding. It was weird.
And so with long jump attacks, you can also, since you can set 5 targets on the boomerang, you can set multiple targets and then just do multiple long jump attacks at once, like this. What you can also do with long jump attacks is, even if you only want to do one long jump attack, but if you want to target something that's really close, you can like set targets all around the room, and then like set the 5th target as where you actually want to go, so that way it gives you time to pull your sword out before you do the jump attack. Whereas if you set like one target really close to you, you might not have time to pull the sword out and then do the jump attack before the boomerang starts to come back to you. And on the Wii version, you actually cannot do long jump attacks with the boomerang, unfortunately. That's one reason the GameCube version is run over the Wii version when it comes to being the fastest version.
Yeah, it's kind of nice though, because the GameCube version, I mean, each of the Wii version and the GameCube version each have their pros and cons, but the pros of the GameCube version are definitely a lot more like quality of life things.
Pros of the Wii version is that
you can equip like 3 items at once. That's about it.
I would say the pro of the Wii version is that if you can stomach playing it, then you are truly a god gamer.
You can do Midna Dive with a box.
If you've tried to learn this game on GameCube and you thought it was hard and gave up, just look at the Wii version. It's 10 times harder. Every single thing that you do in this version that's in that one is hard, and all the unique stuff is hard. Except for, like, I guess, Pillar Clip, because you do Midnight Dive with the box.
So right there, it looks like he kind of just looked at the ceiling and then was warped into this room, which he did do, but there's a very good reason for it. So the flag that we had before that gave us the monkeys, that flag is also tied to being able to start this boss fight. So initially when you enter this room, the intended way, you come up through a hole in the floor, and then the door closes, and then that door closing triggers like a little cutscene which says, hey, you're in this room. But with the early boss flag, it already goes, hey, he's in this room. So what you can do is you can just go into first person and look up at the ceiling, similar to like with Goma and OT, and then that starts the fight.
Yeah, and in that fight, because I have the Master Sword, it takes 10 hits to kill, and you can actually fit in 10 attacks into one cycle.
At the time, all the attacks slashes very well though.
If you go too very well.
If you go too fast, you get a full combo, and then after like doing a full combo, you don't have enough time to start another combo. And then also, if you go too slowly, then you can't fit the full 10 attacks in. You get like 8 or 9. He is going to Oku out of the dungeon here. You actually cannot use Oku from the mini-boss room, which is why he's save warping first. It is faster to save warp out than leave the room and then Oku out. Plus, we need to come back to the start of the dungeon anyway, later on.
So have you seen the world record rap before? We're just going to start getting to a little bit more differences now. So I'm actually going to not transform the Wolfie right away. I'm going to side hop off, put on Iron Boots to take some damage. I'm going to have to die really soon, so I'm going to take damage here, and then I'm also going to take damage in 2 other spots. So one of them being the Kargarok fight that's coming up.
Are you doing Kargarok skip or no?
Yeah, I'm doing the skip.
Okay.
I'm not a baby.
Well, I wasn't sure if like taking damage makes it faster to just do the fast cycle.
All right, real question though, real question. Do I do the next skip after? Yes or no?
No.
No?
Nah.
Jim, you're the final decider.
Why are you pegging this on a non-runner? I'm gonna say no.
Okay, fine. They don't want to show you cool stuff.
It only saves like 6 seconds.
That's a lot. 6 seconds is a lot
That's
of time.
if you get it. If you don't get it, you waste a lot of time.
Is he going? Hello? Hello, buddy?
He's going for a stroll.
Herc?
Mr. Kargarok. There we go.
All right, so right here he's going to lower the Kargarok down into the water, and then
Oh my god.
and then he's not going to get grabbed by the Kargarok. If he got grabbed by the Kargarok, the console would have crashed, which would be okay because he did just save warp, but he did not get grabbed, so that's good.
Oh, I just had a mini heart attack there. Oh. I thought he was going to be further to the right.
Yeah, so he lures the Kargarok into the water, and then the above one dies when it touches the water. Oh? Oh?
What did I tell you?
Wait, what? How did I not take damage there? Huh?
It was a slippery slope.
Oh, wait, that was just to take damage?
Maybe I was too far forward. Okay, whatever. We're not testing luck with that again. So there's actually a clip there. I went a little bit too late, but you can actually use the collision there, much like you do in other clip, to force you out of the wall and fly here out of bounds. It saves about 6 seconds. If you fail it, like I did, loses a good amount of time. But this is a marathon run. I like to show off cool things, but unfortunately, I'm just bad right now. So
It's okay. We were all bad today.
It's very uncommon to actually get hit by any of these archers.
Yeah. They're, as was said in chat, they're basically Hanzo mains. They can't hit you.
it's the Hanzo main on your team specifically. We'll find later in the run. We'll find the enemy Hanzo that hits every single shot.
Yeah.
That's a Widow. It's an MLG Widow.
Well, yeah,
no,
there's
the-
Hanzo and Widowmaker.
There's Hanzo and Widow, yeah.
Yeah, they're right after each other.
So in the ZSR write-up for the route that I'm doing right now, it actually tells you to get hit by one of these arrows, and I have no clue how you're supposed to do that. I got hit by a rock. That was by accident.
That
That's
works.
Fine, I guess. I mean, I wanted to take a full heart of damage later, but you know, that's
Yes.
fine.
What he went to do at the start was clip out of bounds, and if you clip out of bounds, you can just go straight to that loading zone
Nice.
instead of needing to like take the curve in the river. That right there was a tech skip, but he just paused out of the triple tech.
It's kind of hard to stop mashing start in time to not pause there afterwards,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it doesn't really matter. You still save time if you get the pause.
For some reason with this, these midnight jumps right here at the start of this little section, you actually can't get a one-frame jump out of them to get like the one-frame jump that you can usually get with any other midnight text boxes.
Yeah. Because usually it's the ones that have text which you can do a one-frame jump with, but for some reason it's not the case here.
It's the only one you can't do, I believe.
Yeah. At least in any percent
Yeah,
runs.
route, yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's some obscure one somewhere else.
So a lot of people don't know that you can actually just wait for those stalactites to fall. Pretty much everybody who I've met who's only casually played this game thinks that you have to jump into them to knock them down, but no, you can just wait on the platform and they'll come down by themselves. Normally I would get hit by one of these shadow beasts, but because I took damage to those rocks, I'm actually gonna just kill them. They do a full heart of damage, so I don't want to get hit.
The Shadow Beast fight and some other ones after this can be tricky because you don't want to target the Shadow Beast in such a way that you'll run into a wall, because then you won't be able to attack all of them in order.
Nice Gorgewood.
Hello. There we go.
pretty much anytime you spawn one of these portals, not anytime, but oftentimes when you spawn these portals, you can, if there's a cutscene after it, you can just kind of practice like board field timing. The 1 frame between the cutscenes.
Okay, we're gonna do something that's potentially really stupid. Okay, well, he just missed me. That's cool. So
Hey, a wolf.
what I was doing there was gonna try to take a half-hearted damage, and I couldn't remember off the top of my head if as a wolf, running into a Deku Baba does half a heart or a full heart. I'm pretty sure it's half.
There's no way it does a full heart.
See, like this game's weird. I don't doubt it.
You can try.
I mean, if you run into him as human, it's a quarter heart. So I don't know.
Are you maybe thinking of the Twilight Babas?
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, Dragonbane will correct us. It's okay.
Yeah, it's fine. Dragonbane's probably taking notes. He's gonna have a big long pace spin of everything wrong that we did. Alright, so right now I'm getting any blow. Normally, you would get this a lot later in an 80% run, but I'm gonna get this now.
It is possible to get through the game without getting it.
Yeah,
But it is
you
not
can
possible to
actually-
beat the game without getting it.
You can actually finishing blow pretty much every boss in the game without it, except for Ganondorf. And as popularized by our good friend Venek, you can get to Ganondorf, not have ending blow, and just not realize it, and then not be able to kill him.
Yeah, I think most people who learn to run Twilight Princess have done that at some point, in like the early days of their speedrunning.
Am I shooting killed by this guy since I have a heart? Hello, buddy?
Did that hit you, but it didn't do any damage?
No, it completely missed him. The kobold just like ran past him.
Having a
and
bad
swung.
day.
Oh no, we died.
Oh no, man.
It's tragic. It's almost as if you were sitting there trying to die.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. So, remember that trick that I did at the beginning of the run? And then I did, a few minutes ago? I hope you liked it, because we're going to do it again. I wanted to save the third one. Doesn't really matter. So this is exactly the same as the first back in time in the game.
3 times in a row. Yeah.
We're just gonna pretend those fails never happened.
And
Alright.
We'll just subtract 3 minutes from the timer.
So we're actually going to combine the 2 times that I did back in time together to, instead of going back onto a file that I played before, I'm gonna go back onto this file and fight King Bulblin. And this is gonna be how I get to Elden, to Kakariko Village, I should say, without...
Yeah, this is one of the main differences between like the fastest round and what he's doing now.
No, I was almost Japanese, dude. I was almost Japanese. So the Japanese runners are all gods at this fight, and I don't know how. I really don't know what they do, but they always get him without him moving. I don't know how to do it. Just crazy. So now I'm gonna chase him around for a while until he decides to slow down. Please, okay, there we go. Alright, so that fight was decent by American standards.
Yeah, us American speedrunners have low standards for the King Bulblin fight.
So I'm gonna do a cool strat here. So I can get both hits there at once instead of having to ride through twice. Also, this is only 2 phases instead of 3 because I have the Master Sword.
You just skipped the most epic cutscene in the game.
Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to watch that?
Well, yeah, you need to make the speedrun epic. Otherwise, it's not allowed on the leaderboards, remember?
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Sorry. Excuse me. Actually, no. You guys told me not to do cool strats, so I don't think you can talk.
Look, you still tried anyway.
That's because I'm a man of the people.
Also, kind of random thing, but entering a pair of double doors, entering the right door is 20 frames faster than entering the left door because the animation is shorter.
So I had to leave and come back there because the state of Kakariko is a little bit weird right after I beat King Bubbling while the Twilight's still active. But if I walk into the Sanctuary, or I think any other loading zone, and then leave, it'll...
Yeah, it's just if you reload the area.
Yeah, it'll reload back to normal. So I'm going to grab the Elden Messenger, and we're going to start collecting tears.
Something to know about the fights with the messengers, I guess. When you minute charge multiple enemies, you always like attack them in the opposite order that you targeted them. So the first one you target is actually the last one you attack.
Yeah, the game sort of like puts the enemies in a stack for you to attack.
And that's important for it's important because it's important in some messenger fights because of the barriers near them. If you like bonk into a barrier or a wall, it'll stop you from attacking more beasts.
What are barriers?
You know, Jim, it must be nice not knowing what those are.
Here, Mr. Maker HD.
Nice. So the shadow bugs, they won't move if you're moving at a really slow speed. So that's useful for being able to get them all in a single minute charge right there.
Also, in case it wasn't evident, you're not supposed to be able to like side hop into that well and go down there. But because he has the Master Sword early, he can just transform to human and do that. You can't do that as Wolf.
So Elden Twilight's probably one of the more enjoyable areas to play in this run. It's a lot of people hate the Twilight sections in casual playthrough, but in a speedrun, you do a lot of pretty cool strats here. Shout out to SVA.
Yeah, if you just like bonk the wall to the left there and then just sit still, the bug kind of just comes down to you. It is very convenient.
So before I exit any of these areas, I need to make sure that the tier is actually in the vessel. If it's not, then I actually have to go back into the area and get it again.
Yeah, it takes, so the tier doesn't actually get collected or count as getting collected until like the little trails from the tier go into Link, then Link lights up and glows.
Yeah, that's something they actually changed in TPHD to where if you stand over the bug, you instantly get the tier.
There are also less bugs in the HD version and each Twilight.
Both literally and metaphorically.
Which I am very, I'm not so keen on that change in the game. I didn't really think it was needed. Maybe in Lanero, but not in the first two Twilights. It kind of felt arbitrary, the bugs they got rid of. Alright, so right here I'm going to be doing some dash cancels again, like Jim mentioned earlier in the run. A little bit faster than just running up there.
This house has the most important one frame damage jump.
Oh my god, it didn't give me a chance to jump slash. Unfortunate, whatever. It's fine.
Did you know you got a blue rupee, Zayla?
I didn't, actually. That was a good reminder.
Should have done a Rippy slide with it.
Yeah, let me just rupee slide out of the house.
Do they work as wolf?
Honestly, or not.
No.
Right, no, I'm not sure.
I mean,
Anyone have 12 hours to test?
yeah. 12 to 24 hours. Someone's probably tested it already.
One thing that's a little bit annoying about Wolf Link movement is that you have to always hold, like if you want to do a side hop or a back hop as Wolf Link, you always need to hold the direction that you want to go one frame, at least one frame before you press A, which isn't true as human would for his movements.
So that was a long jump attack to avoid hitting a trigger for a cutscene that makes this bug, or not hitting a cutscene, but like if you get too close to that bug, it starts to go into the house. But if you jump like around to the side, you can kill the bug before it goes into the house, and then killing that bug is tied to the house being destroyed, and the other bugs inside the house also being killed.
There's actually a way to do that without turning into a human, but it's pretty precise, and it's very easy to fall all the way down and lose like 40 seconds. So I would rather just transform and lose like, I don't know, 4 seconds over doing the fastest strat.
So in order to kill a bug, you need to wait for it to stop like glowing or attacking with its electricity. And the bugs will move in different ways depending upon how you move. They like react to your movement. And they always start in the same spots, so it's easy to like do consistent movement and make them stop
Zelda
attacking
not.
you.
Okay, just kidding. Haha.
Aha's in the chat.
Aha!
Haha. I can't wait to get the text from Audie. It's coming, I know it. Okay, cool. So I just have 3 more bugs left. The first 2 are pretty consistent, but the last one can be... There are a few strats that you can do to do it fairly consistently, but it's really easy to just lose a lot of time to that last bug.
Yeah, the last bug is surrounded by a lot of different enemies that it'd be easy to accidentally attack instead of the bug with L targeting or with Midna charging.
The hitbox for the tiers are actually gigantic. Even though it was nowhere near that tier, I could still stand there and it'll let me collect it. It's pretty crazy. So these Shadow Beasts I have to kill fairly fast to make a cycle on the steam that you can see in the background. I don't know if the other one saw me. This one didn't see me. Cool. That should still make the cycle. While I wait for this steam, I'm gonna grab this last bug over here.
There are quite a few messengers that really should have been given glasses because they have a really hard time seeing Link.
Alright, perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Alright.
Paradox are here to party.
Alright, 2 Twilight sections down. 1 more to go.
So right here, I'm gonna open up the item menu. That's gonna let me warp away faster. Normally, you can't open up the map until after the text for the area that you're in at the top of the screen there goes away, but you can force it to go away with the, I think with the pause screen and also the item menu. So I'm gonna transform here. This is for a text skip that's happening pretty soon, or a text skip followed by a cutscene skip. And now I just can mess around for a bit.
And this is actually the only reason that we clear Elden Twilight, I'm pretty sure, is that you need this meteorite in order to do linear Twilight.
And you need to do linear Twilight because
You need to do linear Twilight.
linear needs to be in literally the most perfect state to beat the game. And if it's not in that state, you just can't go to City in the Sky.
I think you also can't go to the desert either.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a 1-frame side hop here? Or IP?
I think I was matching too fast for that. That felt good.
Yeah, you can side hop out of that Minotex and save a few seconds. And then he's just going to sink down and use... That camera was weird. He's just going to sink down with the Iron Boots and then leave using the waterfall to avoid a cutscene with Rutella, the Zora Queen.
Rutella?
Also, Human Link makes wolf sound. Ooh. Alright, so Linear Twilight section is the longest Twilight section in the game. The bugs are very spread out over the region.
Can you get this vessel before you warp the meteorite? Like
No.
when you Uku out of Lakebed?
No.
No?
You have to unfreeze Zora's domain before you can get this vessel.
If you have Elden Vessel and you go into this linear section, you can actually see all the bugs on your map as if you had the linear one, but you can't collect any of them. So you do need this area-specific vessel to be able to collect stuff.
Something you can do with the bugs to save a little bit of time is that you start pushing them towards like the direction you need to be going after you like kill them while they're laying on the ground waiting to be turned into a tier. It's really difficult to do that quickly though.
Yeah, the hitbox for the bugs is like so finicky. It's really strange. The only time you see any like serious bug pushing is in a task.
Some small little dash cancels there.
Yeah, important to make sure that you actually collect the tier before warping.
Yeah, for that same problem that I was talking about earlier in Elden, if you just leave whatever area you're in before the tier is completely inside the vessel, then you just don't get it.
I think that's something pretty much every runner's done, at least once, or up to without actually collecting that tier. It is a most tragic experience.
I've never done it in a run with that tier actually, but in practice it happened all the time.
It's very traumatizing.
I don't really look at the vessel either, so I like won't notice until I get to the boss. All right, so right here I'm gonna do a side hop. Just kidding, I'm not doing that. So you can actually side hop up to this waterfall to save a few seconds, but if you fail it, you lose a lot of seconds, so I'd rather just not do it.
Kind of like Carter Rock Clip.
Listen, buddy, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, now side hopping out of water is pretty cool.
So there's one bug in this hallway over here. And then after this bug, we have the infamous lily pad bugs, which are famous for wasting runners' time in the linear section.
Key to these bugs is patience.
Patience, yep. Patience.
It sounds counterintuitive. So right there,
Okay.
if he was to attack immediately, even though it looked like he was low enough, he probably wouldn't have killed it because it was attacking him. It was moving. So if you just wait, you know, that extra half second sometimes, it can work out really, really well. Ideal scenario there is for both bugs to like be really close together and then just kill both of them with a single attack.
Next, here's Izo. Never see her again after this. In the other route, you'll actually get bombs from her, but in this route, we're actually going to be skipping bombs completely. So the rest of the segment until the boss is incredibly filled with nothing. You will never see anything else filled with more nothing than the rest of the segment. So if you want to get a snack, you know, take a nap, anything, you know, text loved ones, go ahead and do that now.
We've got at least a couple of minutes of intense wolf dashing here.
Tense. Oh man, dude, look at these frame perfect dashes.
Riveting.
One. Oh, another one. I'm joking, it's not frame perfect.
Oh, there's an enemy. Oh, you skipped him.
We're just gonna get real comfy here. Here we go.
That looks very uncomfortable.
Don't fall asleep.
No promises. So just like before, I'm putting the camera down onto the floor. That way, I just reduce some lag, save time. These areas of Hyrule Field that are really expansive lag the game a lot. And later on in the game, we'll actually have an example of an area that lags it even more.
One of these messengers, like it didn't have boundaries set on it, so it can kind of pretty much follow you anywhere. It's the one he just killed. If you try and lure it pretty much anywhere in this arena, it'll follow you.
So I hope you guys liked those small examples of me using dash cancels because I'm gonna get some more here. So,
Hey, Zayla, can you show me dash canceling, please?
oh really, you want to see it?
I
Yeah,
would love to see
I'm
it.
interested also.
Can you show it to me like at least 20 times here?
Okay, let's count them. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh,
No,
just
I
9.
don't do the last one. Last one's a little slower.
You know, I don't actually think
I don't think that was
it
enough.
might
though.
actually be 20. 10,
11, 12, 13,
13,
14, 15, 16, 17.
You could have done 18. I was close.
Yeah, the base running speed for Wolflink is extremely slow in Castletown, so it just ends up being that dash canceling is faster movement than regular running.
It's pretty funny to watch though. Okay, this last bug is very famous. Ace. Sorry, something was stuck in my throat there.
Does that bug have a name?
Ace's best friend.
Stevie.
Stevie.
That bug now has a name.
Alright, so I'm gonna grab a card rock back here, but this time I'm not gonna be clipping, unfortunately. I mean, I didn't clip last time either, but I'm gonna collect some bugs here. These are gonna be the last few bugs that I need. And because of the routing that we do in this area, this actually puts, when we're done with these bugs, it actually puts me right where I need to be for the very last bug, which is convenient. Skipping that first bug, and then getting the second one first, just a little bit faster.
Yeah, so once Zaylu collects these last 2 bugs, he's just going to intentionally hit the wall to fall down.
Cool, I wasn't high enough. Oh my god, please.
Just
I just slid.
right up the rock.
Pushed you up.
Link really likes sliding today. He wants to go to a water park.
I mean, it was raining outside. Maybe we can get a little slip and slide going. Is your controller okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Nothing happened there. What are you talking about?
I mean, yeah, no one's in the audience, so it never happened.
Yeah, no, nothing happened. Nothing happened.
No one saw it. It's okay.
All right, time to fight Boss Bug.
Alright, this is Huey.
Huey.
This is Huey.
It's just a creative name.
So if you look in certain directions, this boss actually tries to attack you from like directly in front of you. So you can set it up so that way the bug attacks you from like the long side of the platform, and that gives you enough space to like backflip away from the bug, and then jump attack and stun it before it goes up. So like right there, be able to stun it earlier than you're supposed to, and then get a quick grab on it. Usually you need to wait for the bug. Like if you don't set it up and do that, you have to wait for the bug to hover up into the air for a little bit and then come back down. You can do it again here. And then also there's another little trick at the end here where you can cancel a cutscene to save a few seconds. Yeah, okay, so you target the tentacles and then you walk off the bug and bonk the side of the bug as you release the charge. And that cancels the cutscene of Link attacking all 6 tentacles.
And we're done with Twilights.
All right, no more Twilight sections. Or at least no more tier collecting.
Bless.
Bless. Oh,
I was going to
okay.
go with bombs.
I didn't warp to the wrong spot that time. Hey.
Oh wait, did you go to warp to Isa for a moment?
I mentally did. Did you say I was gonna go get bombs? Not
No.
doing that.
I did say just kidding. I was saying if you'd catch it.
Oh, really?
But you were more worried about where you're warping to.
Sure, buddy. Alright, so I'm gonna do another LJA here to skip the Namek cutscene. And we're gonna roll back into Hyrule Castle. So this is something that you only really, nice roll slash here. This is something that you only really see in, I guess, No Save Quit and 100%, but no one watches those. So we're gonna do it in 90%. And we're gonna actually go to the King Bloodman 2 fight. Rolling in Hyrule Castle here is actually really hard, surprisingly. There's too many NPCs to talk to, and also just a bunch of people to roll into. Oh, I didn't talk to Audie, dude. Let's go.
The camera also changes really weirdly in this area.
I didn't talk to Audie or Peggy there.
All right, so we're gonna fight King Bublin here.
Yeah, we're gonna fight him with no bow, no bombs, nothing. Easy. Alright, we're just gonna go into maximum game early in here. I'm gonna have to look at some, not precise, but kind of hard to see visual cues on my TV. I dashed a little too early, ignore that.
Alright, so he's not actually gonna fight King Bublin. He's gonna set up Epona here in such a way that he can use her head to interrupt his like climb on this ledge and then push him out of bounds.
This might not work. Yeah, I'm not close enough. Hello, grab, thank you. This trick is super stupid for me. I don't know why. For everyone else, it seems to be free, but that should work. If I can get behind her. Please.
Epona.
Come on. Come on, dude.
Yeah, so this ledge right here is actually a step ledge, and there's a very small amount of time when you're climbing up a step ledge that you can actually have an opportunity to clip through things if there's a large actor next to you, such as Epona. So. But you also have to have something to clip through, like the wall to the right of Link over here.
Really? I used to be really good at this. I feel like that should have been working. Thank you.
There we go.
Alright, so I clipped out there, and voiding in this section of the game actually automatically puts you after the King Bublin fight. Alright, so it might look like the hard part's over, which it kind of is, but I have one more trick to do. So I never beat Forest Temple, which means the bridge in this part is not actually here. So I need to get across the gorge somehow. I just have to look at this guy actually.
So it's actually a brake slide, which I don't think we mentioned yet. That was a brake slide out of the Epona slide. If you get off Epona, if you like let go of R and hit A at the same time, you get that slide. And then, yeah, that right there.
Please,
and then you can also do something called brake sliding, where essentially you put the control stick in the ESS position, mid-roll, and then you just kind of hold it and eventually just slide.
Yeah, the logic behind a brake slide is that you're putting the control stick into a position where instead of the game decreasing Link's speed because he's standing still, it'll instead just decrease his speed based off of the fact that you're holding just outside the dead zone, which means that it'll only try to decrease his speed very slightly.
It's a quick detour for 100 rupees. Because
Absolutely,
again,
for
we
the
need
cards
300 later
anyway,
for the cannon. So Epona slide over the board, right?
Yeah, That's 100,000% totally, 100 totally what I'm gonna do. Yep.
All right. So with Epona slides, you can actually use an Epona slide to just jump over this the gorge here without just by running at the gorge and then doing an Epona slide, and you can just jump over the gorge or jump over the void by doing that. But it's a frame perfect trick, and not only is it frame perfect, but you also have to do it at the right time while approaching it. So he's going to do something different with the fence.
Okay.
Take your time with the boomerang. Me too.
Perfect. All right.
Nice.
So what I did there is normally you can't jump slash out of a back hop when you're going on Epona, but if Epona rears up like that and you jump slash at and you jump off at the same time, then you actually can do a jump slash, and I can use that to jump slash onto the fence there, which will actually end up turning me around and bringing me to the other side. And then I could do an LGA over a trigger there to get into Kakariko. A little bit faster to trigger this cutscene than transform. Okay, so, you know, I heard that chat really loved their fish waifus. So that's the real reason I did this route. That way we can be a fish the whole run. Not yet, but later on. Second half of this run will be a fish. Alright, so a little bit of a speed strat here is it's a little bit faster to go into this gate and then, or not this gate, this tunnel, and then just fall out. And also climbing onto this on the side is a little bit faster than going straight on. So now we have the Zora armor, which makes 2 fights in the game very easy, Morphea and Zant. Normally you'd have to use water bombs to refill your air, but since we have this armor that lets us have infinite air underwater, it's a lot easier to get through those sections of the game. However, we don't have bombs, which is a good tool to have for a few strats, but we can manage without them. Alright, so right now I'm gonna go to Snow Peak. I can actually go to Snow Peak early. Normally, you would need to, you know, beat Lake Bed Temple, beat Arbiter's Grounds and everything, and then go get the Reef Fish Scent before you can go up this mountain. And to get the Reef Fish Scent, you need the fishing rod, which I don't have. But instead, I'm just going to do a trick that we call map glitch. So pretty much what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to pull up the map and press Z to call Midna at the same time. And the map takes priority over calling Midna, but Midna takes priority over warping away. So if I do this properly, you're gonna see Midna come up before the warp comes up, and that's gonna cancel my warp. So that's useful because the first action, the game goes through a couple processes before warping away, and the first one of those is disabling loading zones and other types of triggers. And because Midna comes up after that happens, I stay in the area that I am while not having loading zones and those types of triggers. So because the requirement for Reef Percent, what actually voids you out here is just a big loading zone. It actually goes away when I do that trick, so I can just run up this mountain without having it.
Because of the slopes in this mountain, it's Really important to like try and find a good way to run up quickly. If you run up it just kind of however, you'll easily run into a lot of slopes and end up being slowed down.
Yeah, I lost some time there from that. It's kind of tricky, especially if you're playing on a TV you're not very used to. I can't really see in this section, which that's gonna not become an issue, but be very important later.
Yeah, some of the slopes there, you can bonk into them, even though it looks like you shouldn't, and then sometimes you just get slowed down too when running up them.
So because I don't have loading zones active here, it's actually a dead end. I need to dig into this tunnel. But loading zones that are tied to cutscenes, like Howling Stones, are actually still active. So I can use this Howling Stone to regain my loading zones. Something that's not that well known is that you can actually leave Howling Stones after you enter them, just like that. And doing that is going to give me all my loading zones back in this area. So now I can continue. If you try to dig under here while you have map glitch, Link just keeps digging forever, and the game soft locks.
Yeah, so it's very convenient that the Howling Stone exists right there, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to do early Snow Peak.
Stat, please. Thank you.
All right, cool. Those keys can get in the way and block you as you hookshot up. Call shot up. Nice. This is actually a long jump attack to skip a messenger fight. Usually if you just run straight forward there's some messengers that drop down and you need to kill them. You can skip killing them by long jump attacking around to the trigger for the Yeti here. Downside to this is that killing the messengers is actually tied to clearing the fog in this area. So you have to do this little snowboarding section with the fog here.
Spooky.
Okay, nice roll.
RNG manipulations, okay.
Yeah.
So the fastest speed that you get during this snowboarding section is whenever you're in the air, which is why Zelu's constantly jumping and doing spin attacks to stay in the air for as long as possible.
The reason keeping the miss can be a little scary is because there are a couple places up here where you can actually avoid out. So you need to make sure you have good cues to avoid that.
Yeah, so there's like the shortcut path here, which is a little bit risky to take, but it saves a bunch of time, so we go for it.
I couldn't see. Cool. I thought it was further right.
Maybe just take the safe path.
Honestly, the safe path is like almost as scary with the miss.
The problem with the safe path is that jump is like kind of weird. The one jump that you have to do is really
Yeah, and the
strange.
platform's smaller too.
But I think I'm gonna go for it just because I literally can't see anything on this TV. It's just I'm very used to playing a 480p, and on this TV I'm playing on 480i, which just makes everything really blurry. So we're gonna go for this instead. So I'm just gonna hug the walls and kind of hope. Okay, so there's actually an icicle there. It's still loaded. That's the only one that's still loaded on this version of the game, even though you can't see it. Okay.
Okay. Something worth noting is that since you don't kill the messengers, so not only is killing the messengers tied to getting rid of the mist, but it also loads a lot of stuff in this area, like the textures for icicles.
And also rupees.
Some rupees, yeah. And does it load the keys too?
I think so. Honestly, it's been so long since I've seen this area normal that I don't even know.
Yeah, so usually when you kill the messengers, there would be rupees there. But Sadly, you can't get them if you skip that.
It's time for Snow Peak, which is a pretty broken dungeon.
Yep.
You can go for the entrance to the ball and chain in like 2.5 minutes. Which is crazy considering how big this dungeon was supposed to be. You can just claw shot through the floor there, which is really convenient. And then in order to do that, you just do a long jump attack across that little gap. In this room, you can just use long jump attacks to get across this platform instead of using the ball and chain, which is what you're supposed to have. And then to get back, he's just going to void out. It's a little bit faster.
And the floor at a specific part of this room is like really badly programmed. So it's possible to just, well, I guess not.
The floor's really indecisive. It's not sure if it wants to be there or not. So what I tried to go for at first there was a jump slash. If you jump slash, I think within 4 frames, you can just clip straight through. But a side hop is pretty easy to clip through with.
Alright, so that was Freezered Clip. One thing that we didn't mention yet is that loading zones that are behind doors in Twilight Princess are actually tied to the action of opening the door, which is why you also don't see very many boss key skips in this game. So right there after he clipped through the door with the Freezered, he had to actually open the door from behind if he wanted to properly load it. So thankfully you can do that still, even if you're behind it.
So this boss fight can be a little spooky sometimes because the ball and chain does a whole lot of damage. So if he got hit there, he would have died.
And just like the Forest Temple, the only reason we're coming to Snow Peak is to get the ball and chain. Because well, unlike the Forest Temple, the ball and chain is only useful for really one thing in the run, and that's for fighting Zant at the end.
I forgot to equip Zora armor. It's not a big deal. I just have to pause again.
So if you can defeat if you could defeat Zant without the ball and chain, we could skip having to do the entire detour here to Snow Peak. We're also going to get some rupees, though. Each one of these ice bubbles, when you kill it, has an orange rupee.
These equips are rough. Ignore that.
And now we're finally going to come back to finish the Lakewood Temple.
So normally in the world record route, you would get bombs, or more bombs here, but I don't need bombs. I don't have a bomb bag to put them in anyway. So we're just gonna continue. All right, there's that jump slash. So pretty soon I'm gonna be doing, right now, I'm gonna be doing the only boss key skip in this game.
Yeah, this is the only boss loading zone that is not tied to opening a door. Since you sort of just fall into the loading zone, instead of like having it be activated right behind the door. So he's going to clip into the railing of this staircase, and then he's going to line up in a certain position, do 3 backflips, and then he can fall into the shell structure that holds the loading zone to the boss. And here we go. So hopefully Zelu does not drown here.
Yeah, it's going to be really hard not to drown.
Wait, Zelu, where's your air meter? Aren't you supposed to be losing air right now?
Oh, it's right there. You don't see it?
No, I don't.
Oh, man.
Oh, I need special glasses. That's right. I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You can see the Zora armor.
It's just invisible. I gotta be careful.
Alright, so usually you do this fight in the fastest route without Zora armor. and you use water bombs to. Well, you don't just use water bombs. There are 2 ways to refill your air meter in this fight. The cutscene at the start that you skip actually refills the air meter, so you can sink all the way down with the air meter you initially have when you enter the room if you have iron boots on, and then you use water bombs in the second part of the fight to refill your air meter for that. But because he has Zora armor with this route, we do not need to do that, which is nice because Morphle can be run ending. We do that.
That me standing up there was some RNG manipulation. Just letting you know.
So even though we can't use, even though we're not using water bombs for this fight, there's still something we can do to speed it up. If you put on iron boots before you claw shot Morphle, you can force unequip iron boots like this right here.
I didn't put them on.
Oh, you didn't put them on.
Yeah,
Okay.
I clutch shot it too early. 8.
Oh, wow.
He's still fast.
good RNG manipulation, Zayla.
RNG manipulation, I told you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so you put on iron boots before claw shotting her, and then after the full combo, you take off the iron boots, and then that forces Link to let go of her. Usually after doing a full combo, Morphle, as you saw there, she kind of throws you upwards. But it worked out there because she like turned back around and came right back to him. Yeah, the iron boot thing lets you go for regrabs really quickly. This ring drains insanely fast considering how much water there is in it. How small that crack is.
Oh, this cutscene's long. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
Got time to check Twitter?
I checked Twitter, I checked Snapchat, I checked the chat, and we're all caught up.
All right, excellent.
Honestly, I could have ran to the bathroom. That would have been smart. I probably should have done that. It's fine.
Okay, you'll last an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's fine. We'll just get a Gatorade bottle if I need it, you know?
As long as we buy it on site, it's okay.
Gonna need some Bible thumps in the chat for midnight here.
Bubble thump. Real sad.
I cry every point.
I'm
every
sorry,
time
guys. I'm
someone
just
gets
getting a
this
little.
point.
I'm just getting a little emotional.
Hold me, Ace.
No, they can't see you.
That's the point.
All right. So this is another segment full of nothing until like the last part. So.
At least we have good music this time.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right. Let's get real cozy here. Okay. There we go.
So during this part, after you beat Lakebed, what happens in the cutscenes that he skipped? Zant makes Midna sick.
No,
You
I
have
talked
to
to Ace
say
the. Oh my god.
Why is that me?
You because it's an annoying cat.
What is that supposed to be?
If you haven't noticed, we have names for like every single NPC, every enemy in this game. That's gives you even a little bit of trouble.
It's how we cope.
Yeah. We actually have group
Hanzo and
meetings.
Widowmaker coming up.
Oh, yeah.
That was way too early. So you can actually get a glitched cutscene there if you B attack the first frame before you enter that cutscene. It saves, I think, 2 seconds? Or maybe just a second, I don't know. but I've only ever seen it twice, and I think both times were Adam getting it.
Wasn't Fino the first to get that, or no?
I mean, maybe. I just haven't seen it.
Oh.
The first time I ever saw it was when I think Adam randomly got it in a run.
I thought I saw Fino get it for some reason. I could be wrong.
Maybe Taka? Who knows?
Everyone in this bar is very oblivious and just somehow doesn't see him climbing across these ropes.
They will only see you if you knock down 2 pots.
You can knock down 1 pot and still not be caught.
It's fine. Link just wanted to do some pull-ups.
Yeah. More pull-ups. Here we go.
Okay.
This is the only player he's going to get in the run? He's going to skip the rest?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, don't worry, Zayla. I'll teach you how to do it beforehand.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What are you talking about? I'm just going to stand around for 7 hours.
7?
But I thought it was 12.
Is it 12?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe not. I think 12 was safe.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, yeah.
I mean, we got time, right?
Yeah, everyone's asleep right now.
Yeah, no one else is here.
This is our marathon now. My marathon now, boy.
We're holding Wolf Dash 2.0 tomorrow.
All right, where are the TP runners at?
Yeah, calling all TP runners in chat. Wolf Dash is now happening at PACE2019.
Yep. We will use our imaginary funds to get everyone over here. So it's actually faster to burn that web with the lantern instead of taking the stick all the way over there. All right, it's everyone's favorite Hanzo main coming up here. So this bubble in here, I have to kill him no matter what because
He doesn't miss.
he doesn't miss, never.
Is the enemy team's Hanzo.
Please, okay. So,
He never misses, huh?
I mean, he hit me. He just didn't do damage. Oh. Oh my.
I mean,
The ropes in this room are really finicky. Feels like ropes in Zelda games are always finicky somehow, except in the Wind Waker, in the original Wind Waker. But in every other game, they're kind of eh.
the best Zelda game.
Are they bad at HD?
Yeah, they're bad in HD.
They
terrible in
screwed
HD.
them up.
How?
You like jump off and then you like go like 60 miles to the left or right.
Yeah.
Did Grezzo like secretly just do the ropes?
Grezzo.
The ropes wrong warp you to some other location?
You can jump attack this bubble and save a little bit of time. And this one.
All right.
All right, now
Coming
it's
up on
time
Widow.
for the enemy Widowmaker.
All right, what's up, Widow? Are you gonna hit? Nope.
Oh no, she missed. All right,
Damn.
excellent. Now we can push the payload.
You know those Widows that never hit? Dude, can I like dash? This is impossible. Okay, well, I guess we're not gonna do early wind cycle because
I guess not.
yeah.
I thought you were gonna go for it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
Like,
jump
you
off to
just
my
say
death.
you weren't gonna go
Yep,
for it.
Yep, base. Yep. Yep.
Like we had this conversation about Kurgarok clip already.
Okay, listen. Listen, buddy.
We said we weren't gonna go for it.
I gotta call the anti-bully ranger on you.
You are your own anti-bully ranger here.
All right, so normally in the world record route, you would grab ending blow here, but since I already have it, I am just gonna continue on with my life. Gotta keep moving, you know? It's 4 a.m. How is it 4 a.m.? I feel like,
Well, you see, when time passes,
time passes, things tend to change position in the universe.
You know, Ace, do you want to do this run?
We keep
Like,
track of that with numbers.
Ace, do you want to play the rest of the game and I can go to sleep?
It's gonna be a hard pass.
All right, let's stop with the bullying. Alright, so we're gonna go over here and we're gonna get Oro's memo, which he is only here in this state of Lanero and no other state. So if you're in the wrong, so if you did beat the Twilight but you're in the wrong state of Lanero, he just won't be here and you can't go to the desert.
This is a very tall ladder.
It is.
It's the tallest of ladders. He's still climbing it. That's how tall it is.
Wow. Okay, there we go.
Did you see that posture? That form as he climbed up. Phenomenal.
All right, so because I have a fish chute, I can just jump down here with the ball and chain, and it's actually faster to swim back. That's a strat I never see people doing, taking out the ball and chain there.
I did not know that strat existed, to be honest.
It does. You know, maybe you just gotta have a bigger brain.
I will have to do that in Twilight Princess
Galaxy
HD.
brain.
Yeah, 3 billion IQ strat right
Ball
there.
and chain brain. Ball and brain. I don't know.
You don't have the ball and chain here in TPHD.
Oh yeah, never mind. Don't listen to me.
Maybe that's why you didn't know about it. It's a really good thing I didn't press A there. I actually wasn't paying attention. So I accidentally talked to him instead of giving him the memo. For some reason, I thought I pressed X. I just never did. And if I clicked give it a shot, I would have had to either to reload the area in whatever way before I could give him the memo. I've actually seen, the only person I've seen do that in a run is Rodner, I think, like many, many years ago. So, like in Hyrule Castle, or not Hyrule Castle, sorry, in Hyrule Fields, I'm going to be pointing the camera down here to reduce lag. It actually saves like somewhere between like 4 and 8 seconds or something to put the camera down here. It's a crazy amount of lag that you save. Also because of the slopes, you want to try to take as optimal of a path in this area as you can. Normally the game wants you to grab these boars here and break through this cage. Or not the cage, I guess the fence. But we aren't going to do that because we have the ball and chain. And the post can actually be destroyed by the ball and chain. And then there's just enough space in the fence right after that to have Link fit through and just be able to run straight past it. So, ball and chain here. I'm gonna stay human here. You can also clip through this as Wolf, but as human it's a little bit more consistent.
Yeah, the camera does weird things when you try to clip through as Wolf Link.
Yeah, as human Link you could basically just hold up, but Wolf Link you have to hold like weird angles depending on your camera, and then the camera moves by itself. It's not the most consistent thing in the world.
Alright, so coming up here, Zelu's going to be doing the map glitch again. So the advantage of map glitch this time is that it's going to disable Link's ability to void out whenever he falls down. But it still keeps in load the trigger for the King Bulblin fight here. So the strategy is pretty much to first get out of bounds with a long jump attack, and then he's going to jump slash sort of back in bounds, except he will jump slash back in bounds such that he can enter into the air trigger, which extends infinitely above and below the map.
Oh my god, dude.
You can smash attack him through the wall.
Oh, now the archer's on the ground.
Okay, we're taking this off.
Yeah.
If he gets hit with a fire arrow, he's pretty much gonna die. Says his arrow.
I'll literally die in one hit if I get hit by a fire arrow. Can they
Also,
stop?
these Bulblins are really weird. They kind of just spawn out of nowhere. It's very annoying.
Okay, we're not doing this. Sorry, guys. I was going to show you something cool. Not anymore. Get away from me. I could do an alternate strat there, but I don't actually know how to do it anymore, so we're just going to go get the key.
It's more interesting this way anyway. Get to see more of the game.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Thank you.
That pig looks really tasty.
Yeah.
I could go for some pork right now.
Okay. Please. Okay.
Apparently getting thrown off a bridge into a giant canyon wasn't enough for this guy who wanted more.
Yeah. So this fight's kind of a joke thanks to how broken quick spinning is against him. Also, we should mention that there's actually two types of quick spinning in this game. There's clockwise quick spinning and counterclockwise quick spinning.
AKA good quick spinning and bad quick spinning.
But which one's the good one?
Obviously counter.
Yeah, counterclockwise is what allows you to get in 3 hits on King Goblin. I think you can technically get in 3 hits with clockwise, but you have to be standing at you have to be facing a weird angle compared to him.
Also, with quick spins in this game, you can actually spin the control stick after you do a jump attack, and then Link will just do a quick spin after the jump attack, or just like chain the two together seamlessly.
Yeah, that's actually a technique that's available to use in Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, and Skyward Sword. Alright, so this is the Arbiter's grounds.
Officially better than Adam. There you go. For those of you who don't know, Adam's kind of notorious for avoiding in that pit.
You got a small key.
This dungeon has a lot of sand.
I mean, it's in a desert, so I would, assume.
Alright, so it's actually really fast to move through sand with the wolf because you can constant B attacks. So usually when he's going through sand, he's going to have to transform the wolf for that. But first, we're going to skip the pose.
Yeah. Wait, Zaylu, why didn't you get storage?
Oh.
Just roll through this cutscene.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry.
Oh, well, alright.
I guess we're going to have to get the pose now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
well.
my fault. Yeah.
So you can skip these with a rupee slide, which is what, something we mentioned at the start of the run, which again is just picking up an item and then leaving it in Link's hands, and then just letting him slide through collision over the course of a really long period of time. But it takes some obscene amount of time to actually do that here, so we're just going to collect the pose.
I mean, unless they want to extend the marathon by 12 hours.
It is possible to skip getting one of them.
Yeah, so the first one that you're supposed to normally get is the one that starts right in front of you there. But we can actually get to the fourth one without the use of any of the other pose right here. Ow. I'm getting trolled by the sand enemies.
Alright, so usually you'd have, with the fastest route, you actually have bombs here. And what you can do is you can throw a bomb into the sand, and then for some reason the mole arms are like attracted to the bomb. And then you can just, the bomb will usually kill both of them when it explodes.
Or it just distracts them long enough for you to jump over
Actually
here.
do the trick, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just walk into this
Hi,
pillar,
my name is Zaylu. I can't count to 3.
You want us to count for you?
No.
Okay.
I can do it, I swear.
Alright.
Hi, my name is Zaylu. I can count to 3.
Hey,
I can't do equips though, because I need this stuff.
So if you just walk into that pillar just right, you kind of like pop up onto it, and then if you're spamming A to roll, you can get a jump off the pillar and then grab the ledge. It's a very finicky trick though. And there are actually quite a few ways to do that. That method is very easy, so it's very nice.
Yeah, shoutouts to Mr. Men for finding that, because the old version of that trick was notoriously
It was awful.
stupid for speedruns of this game.
Luckily, those are always the same. It would suck if those were like random.
What are you talking about? It is random. I just got lucky.
All right.
Yeah.
Ace, why'd you have to ruin it?
Ruining the fun, man.
Forgot the entire game's random. The dungeon's just randomly generated. It's basically Pokemon Mystery Dungeon.
Alright,
Yeah,
here's something
this
that actually is random.
Yeah, how many times is the Poe going to fly around?
Counting with Zelda.
1. Oh,
No, perfect RNG. Excellent.
I don't actually know what to do for each one of those. There is an RNG manip you can do, but they never work for me, so even if I do the thing I'm supposed to, so
3, 4.
Oh, we got 2 cycles.
hello? Okay.
Yeah.
Please be up. Yay!
Yay! Yeah, so you want the one that's nearest to the door so you can exit the room quickly once you have the Poe soul.
So you can actually get the Poe scent from any of the Poes, not just the first one. So I'm actually going to get that from this Poe here.
And you need the post to be able to dig in a couple spots.
It's actually really weird that it even lets you get it from these ones, but you know what? Not complaining.
I guess maybe if you go out of the dungeon to get a different scent, maybe? I don't know.
Guess, but like, can you even do? I don't know. Well, no, because you can only get the scent from big Poes.
Yeah.
Oh, so you can get the scent back. I see
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah,
Get it back.
like if you get like a different scent from somewhere else in the game. If you even can at this point.
Yeah, I'm not
So
sure.
I pull. Well, yeah, you would get the medicine scent, casual. Anyway, you have to pull that block 4 times. If you push that block, 4 times. If you push it 3 times, if you push it 2 times, it reverts back to its location. And I need that as a shortcut for later, so I don't have to do P1 skip again. Which isn't that big of a deal now that it's easier, but it is more of a big deal since I don't have bombs to be able to easily distract the moldworms.
Yeah, also, the reason that we can ultimately actually skip the first Poe is because the game just assumes that you always have to get the first Poe if you get the second, third, and fourth Poes. So it only checks for the last 3 to open up the gate to the second part of the dungeon.
Also, the door we're going to be using the small key on, it won't actually look like we'll use the small key on the door because we're going to open a door from behind, and it's locked from the other side. Even though like we're entering it from the back, we still need the key, sadly. We did the same thing in Snow Peak.
Yeah, these bubbles can be really annoying.
I got lucky there that they didn't mess me up more, to be honest. If you haven't noticed, you've heard us mention luck literally all the time. And it's because this game has a lot of RNG. Most of it isn't that big of a deal, but it's
all
very
adds up.
annoying.
Yeah.
Every segment except one has something that can lose you like at least a second.
What doesn't have RNG? What is that one segment? I'm actually curious.
I think it's Midnight's Desperate Hour?
No, there's Hanzo and Widowmaker on those.
Well, no, you
They
can.
won't hit you.
You can consistently avoid those.
I guess
Yeah.
that's true, yeah.
I guess that is. Well, no, Desert doesn't have any RNG. Like entering Arbiters, I should say, doesn't have any RNG. It's just being good or bad. The point is that we're straining to figure out where there's no RNG in this game. That should tell you something.
Yeah, most segments have like, Keys or Cargo Rocks, or at least Keys or Cargo Rocks, or some sort of enemy that can screw you over in some way.
Yeah, so the door that has the lock on it is over here. So if you listen closely, you'll hear the lock fall off. And then there's the lock on the other side. But it means that we don't have to get the lock in this room, which is nice, because getting the lock in that room spawns like ghost rats that can be annoying. Also, because we come to this Po from behind, we don't have to worry about the re-deads here trying to scream at us.
Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Where's my rupee? Okay. Blue, 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 blue. No! Okay, I'm fine with that. Wait, was my rupee RNG really that bad this run that I don't have enough?
Yeah.
I've literally never not had enough this run. Oh, it's because I forgot to get the rupees in the grass during King Goblin 2. That's why. I was gonna say, there's no way I have this little. It's fine though. There's a backup rupee I can get that doesn't lose too much time.
Nice. So usually by this point you'd have 300.
Yeah, preferably you would want 300 rupees. I keep finding more buttons on this chair. Like, what does all this do? I'm so confused.
The pro gamer chair.
Is this why this chair costs like $1,000? Like, there's another one. I found another button. What the heck?
Don't press that one.
Imagine just like ejected me out of the building.
Which backup rupee are you getting?
I'm gonna get the 20 outside of fire.
Okay.
It's a little bit better than getting that, the blue, because it's easier to skip the text. Or it's less awkward to skip the text, I should say. Oh man, you know what I should have done? There's actually a really cool segmented / task only strat that you can do here, and I really wish that I learned it.
Oh yeah, there's some interesting parkour that can be done in this room. In a typically you only see it in a task setting, but it'd be interesting to go for.
If you guys saw the old Underage run that was done at AGDQ, Aether went for it, and I think he missed it, but in his practice run, in I think the private practice room, he actually got it. Or I think he got it all the way to like the last thing that you're supposed to do for it, which is still like crazy. Alright, so I'm gonna activate all these guys. I'm gonna turn around, trip ball and chain. And just kill him really quickly there. With that strat, it's actually not much faster to use bombs versus the ball and chain there, especially since I need the ball and chain here anyway. Please. Thank you.
Yeah, the fastest 90% I would have bombs there. And what you can do is you can lay the bombs near the East Alphos and then start to make your way towards the gate and be at the gate by the time it opens.
Are you gonna fight this guy, Zaylu?
No, I'm just gonna do an incredibly stupid trick, actually, to skip this.
Skipping this is possible, but it's really difficult, and it only saves like 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm just gonna channel the powers of Samu real quick, don't worry. Ugh, okay. So I'm actually just gonna fight this guy, but I'm gonna try to do a fast strat here.
Yeah, so by never finishing the full sword slash combo, you can kind of just keep on repeating the hits onto the death sword.
Yeah, it's similar to the Deku thing he did earlier, although nowhere near as precise. Although you can get up to 6 ball and chain hits, but 6 is insanely precise.
Are you excited for your new Beyblade, Zaylu?
Of course. Let it rip. Alright, so now I have the spinner. This is a pretty cool item, and by a pretty cool item, I mean it's a required item that I only use in a couple instances. Yes, I really want to read the letters. Yup.
It came so quickly.
I forgot that I unequipped Zora armor, so my cursor was in a different spot, so I only clicked down twice.
Yeah, the spinner is the coolest useless item. It only really gets used for the boss and then for like 2 other instances.
Yeah, also, we kind of glossed over it when we finished the Poe collecting session, but we already got the boss key for the Arbiter's Grounds. The boss key is very badly protected in this dungeon. Like, you can even get it early in the glitchless category this game.
Fun fact about the glitches category, it actually did. So what I did to get the boss key early was clip through, force myself to clip through the wall for a frame by squeezing myself in between this pillar. And the glitchless run used to do that for years. People just, even though it's like a perfectly viable glitchless strat, people used to do that, even though you're technically clipping out of bounds. 10 out of 10 rules.
Spin to win.
Spin to win.
Alright. Please? Okay.
Spin to win round 2.
So it only actually matters how fast you spin for a certain amount of time. And then after like the fire comes on here or other cues that you'll have for spinner segments, you would just keep tapping A and it doesn't matter how fast you do it. Alright guys, it's time.
Sir Stellar skip?
Yeah. Jim taught me off stream.
Yeah, I showed him the input file to doing it, so I was going to recreate that now with his human hands.
This isn't memorized.
Yeah. I'm actually going to plug in TaskBot real quick.
TaskBot for a disc-based game. Let's do it.
Yeah, so this boss is skippable using a couple insanely precise L slides. And
L slides, claw shot,
something
actor
called claw shot,
displacement.
actor displacement, yeah.
A bomb boost, I think. A lot of dumb things.
So claw shot actor displacement is claw shotting something and then making Link, doing an L slide as you claw shot something to make Link like fall off a ledge. And with some claw shottable objects that actually drags them towards you. You can do that to drag the skeletons around this room. And then L sliding is essentially just sliding around while you have the claw, while you're shooting the claw shot. If you shoot the claw shot and then you tap L, you can move around using the skill stick.
I'm a god. I just want to say that was the best improv ever. I made like 4 different mistakes there, and it just worked out.
Yeah, through a series of shenanigans with those couple tricks, you can actually just get to the loading zone without fighting it.
Another interesting thing about this boss is that the boss is actually triggered by you standing in front of the boss door. So, like, if you were able to load into this room without standing in front of the actual boss door or the Arbiter's Grounds, the gate on the other side of the arena would actually just be open, and you would just be able to walk around and skip the fight. But we haven't figured out how to do that. So,
Sadly.
yeah. Oh no, it's back.
Oh no!
So there's a... Oh, yeah. He's listening to an audio cue.
Alright, wait a second. I need to listen. Nice. Okay. You can explain it now.
Yeah, so if you just happen to get on the spinner at the right time while he's shooting the fireball, the third fireball, you actually have just enough time to get up to him and then knock him down before he runs up or starts to run away. And that trick was actually discovered by accident.
Yeah, it was by one of our friends Thursday. I think he didn't even roll, or like he just wasn't paying attention. He was like rolling and walking around and just put on the. He just like hopped on the spinner and it randomly worked.
It's a good thing that sword just barely missed cutting into Link.
So normally I would be a real god gamer and skip this heart, but I'm not trying to die, so we're gonna get it. Palace of Twilight is kind of risky on well, risky if you don't get this heart. You'll have to do it with a total of 4 hearts, and you'll start out with only 2. So I'm electing to do it with a total of 5 hearts and starting out with 3 instead. It's a lot safer. Just as a marathon strat. Hello?
Hello.
Thank you. It's 4 a.m. It's 5 a.m. actually.
Almost 5 a.m.
Yeah, it's 5 a.m.
It's past 3 a.m.
Does anyone want to go get me a latte?
We'll go to Starbucks afterwards.
You'll be open after after this run is done. All right, so I killed those shadow beasts there to get the mirror chamber. Normally, or excuse me, to get the warp to the mirror chamber. Normally, you would have to, please. Normally, you would have to raise the big stone thing to leave this area, but you can actually just zoom in before you press Z to warp and force yourself to warp away and skip like this little midna text that prevents you from warping. Alright, so we're coming up onto a lot of people's favorite dungeon in the game, City in the Sky. It's pretty cool, especially in a speedrun. And right now, I'm about to do the biggest time save in the whole game.
Yeah, so normally you need to go through an entire side quest after first beating Snow Peak Ruins and the Temple of Time before you can access City in the Sky. But by transforming into this statue right here, we can clip through it and then get to the City in the Sky cannon early.
Okay, there we go. That just saved an hour.
Saved over. It saves well over an hour. It's crazy.
So I'm going to say no there to Midna. It's just a little bit faster than saying warp. And then I just warp there manually with the map.
So that lets you skip getting to Temple of Time, being Temple of Time, and then also a long and annoying quest to empower the Dominion Rod after Temple of Time.
Thanks. All right, so I'm gonna have to get this rupee over here. There's a 20 rupee. Well, there's actually 40 rupees right here. Obviously, I don't need 40 rupees. This is why I don't talk. This is why I let you guys talk. Okay.
You don't want to play the minigame?
You can get lots of rupees from it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'll get the 4 rupees that I need from that minigame. It's too well. Alright, so now that I have 300 rupees, I can repair this guy cannon.
Wasn't your wallet too big to fit that red one, though?
I just stuffed it in there.
You should put it back.
Yeah, you should put it back.
So whenever you open a chest with a rupee that's too big to fit in your wallet, it actually makes you put it back.
What if, like, rupees that you found on the ground, like, literally just dropped on the floor if you didn't, if you couldn't fit them in the wallet?
You need 1 rupee left and just keep getting blues.
That'd be so bad. I don't know why, like, well, I do know why they put that in the game, because they wanted you to be able to remember where the chests were and go back to get them if you needed it, but, like, that was just not a great idea, in my opinion. Which they did change in TPHD.
Did they actually?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They learned it was
he doesn't
annoying.
put chests back. Well, there's less rupee chests in the game in general. You can hold more rupees, and he doesn't put them back if they don't fit in the wallet. Actually, if you're full, Jim, if you're full on rupees, does he put them back or no?
I'm pretty sure he doesn't.
Okay, that's dumb.
TPHD.
He should put them back if you literally can't fit anything.
Is that Skyrim?
Yeah.
You know, I never actually listened to like the sounds they make until now.
Yeah, they make
Very interesting.
Yeah, they make some dumb noises. Honestly, the Uku sound like me every time I make a mistake.
Good wind RNG.
Alright, can we do the 2 hardest dungeons in the game on sleep deprivation? Let's see. Okay, no, that's gonna void out.
No.
That's gonna void out, buddy. Nope.
Alright, so right here. Oof.
Okay, I swear on everything that I pressed A. Like, I hope all of you saw my face of genuine shock when Link did not jump there.
I saw him jump.
Yeah, he
Okay.
just teleported back.
So he's gonna transform into wolf before opening this door. And what he's actually gonna do, what that actually does is it lets you avoid hitting a trigger to turn on a fan in this room. The fan in the ceiling of this room is kind of just off by default, and approaching that door, getting really close to that door, turns the fan on. But as Wolf, you can open the door without getting too close to the door, and just avoid hitting that trigger. And this is beneficial because you can go backwards through that fan instead of needing to go like above it to turn it off, and then get to the boss key faster.
I can jump off of the spinner there a little bit early to gain some distance. My claw shot wasn't too bad, but one-handed grab. So right here, this dungeon, it's not the first. Well, yeah, it's the first time that it's important that you get either 1 or 2-handed grabs. And what determines that you get it is RNG. It's just random. I don't know why they did that, but I think getting a 2-handed grab is almost a second faster than getting a 1-handed grab.
Feels years faster.
But like I don't know why they decided it. And it's not even like a 50-50, I feel like. I feel like one-handed is way more common than two-handed. It's weird. So I get the small key here. So there's a lot of weird trigger things that go on. So I guess you guys can explain that while I do some more tricks.
Yeah, so after you open that small key chest, the game actually sets your respawn point to be in front of that small key chest because there's a cutscene up here that it wants you to watch. It doesn't want you to be able to save warp back to the start of the dungeon. So he's gonna avoid hitting the trigger right here for that cutscene. So that way he maintains that save warp point by the small key because it's slightly faster to save warp out of the mini boss room and go back to that chest, or save warp out of the mini boss room and go to the boss key from that chest rather than save warp out of the mini boss room and go to the boss key from the start of the dungeon.
Yeah, it used to save a significant amount of time back when we had to go through the natural puzzle to get to the boss key, since it starts on that side of the dungeon. But because we get the boss key from the central room now, it only saves, like, I think 5 seconds or something. So it is actually possible to skip the small key that Zelu got on that side of the dungeon, but good luck ever doing that trick in real time. It's probably the most convoluted trick in the entire game.
Oh, easy. I'll just go for it right now.
Oh, okay.
All right, ready?
I'm ready for you to make history.
Oh, oops. I used a small key. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Well, that's okay. Mistakes happen.
Oh, yeah.
These XP rooms are pretty much just long jump attack playgrounds.
Okay.
And Bonk City.
Bonked on actually nothing there.
Door
Okay.
frames are really poorly
Visualize.
visualized by the tech, yeah. That pot
Good
is
pot.
really good at pushing you off this round.
I was actually about to say, watch that pot push me off.
Yeah, it's not uncommon for you to like get too close to the ledge and that pot just pushes you off. And it sucks.
So you can actually make those downfall Sudoku if you time a claw shot really well. I think it's frame perfect. I'm not sure, but if you
no,
do it, they
no,
just
it's
jump
not.
off.
It's
not
not.
frame
It's not that
perfect.
precise.
Really?
It's
Is it
just
not?
really.
Yeah.
It's just.
It's position precise.
Yeah.
I should learn
Yeah.
that.
What you do is you stand across from the fan, and then if you shoot the claw shot when the lizards jump over, they try and like shield the claw shot, but in trying to shield the claw shot, they like turn in such a way that they just kind of dive off the ledge.
Yeah, they just fall and void out.
Nice bonk. I
Or
should
bonks.
learn that. It's actually a really funny strat.
This is the infamous man chicken skip. Uku skip.
One-handed grab, cool.
One hit and grab, by the way.
Have I gotten a two-handed grab yet?
I don't know.
I don't think I have.
I don't think so.
The two that I paid attention to were one-handed. I think there was one more, but I wasn't. Hello? I wasn't looking. All right, it's time for a really dumb trick. I could just not do it, but what's the fun in that? All right, I've got the first frame iron boot. What?
You gonna go around and exit the room now?
Ooh, and I got
Oh,
that. Hey.
he gets it.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spicy.
That's not where the hard part comes
Yeah.
in, though.
That's a frame perfect drop to save like half a second.
He already got 2 frame perfect inputs in this room.
Let me just get a pixel precise first, right? Excuse me, unit.
Nerds internally cringes.
All right, we're gonna try that again.
This is incredibly precise. If you put yourself in just the right position, you can barely claw shot the target through the gate.
Oh, there we go.
Easy.
Easy.
First try, haha. The first one was a warm up. That doesn't count, right?
Yeah, we'll just, subtract the time at the end.
That's what we're doing, right? We're subtracting all the time that I lost this round?
Yeah, we're subtracting all the mistakes.
Yeah.
I was supposed to put on Zora armor, and I was supposed to... It doesn't matter.
okay.
It's fine.
It's
It doesn't
okay.
matter.
It's all right.
It doesn't matter. We're just gonna do some extra pauses. It doesn't matter. This is a 2-file only run, by the way. I'm not allowed to do the third file. I'm allergic to the third file. It's like half a second faster to save onto a new file. So I would have liked to do that, considering this is potentially the last save warp in the game. There's one more if I get a frame perfect trick, but this is the last guaranteed one, so I would have liked to do it there. I just forgot.
Also, the Argarog cutscene trigger doesn't exist anymore.
And one-handed
Skipped
grab,
it.
yay.
All the one-handed grabs.
This segment is where grabs like really, really matter. You lose a lot of time from getting just one-handed grabs everywhere. One-handed.
One-handed.
All right, there's like, what, 3 more opportunities? No, like, actually a lot more. 1, 2...
One-handed grab. That's a good claw shot, though. This one doesn't matter what I get. If anything, I don't want a two-handed grab here. I'm not wasting the RNG on this. I got a two-handed grab. Of course.
The RNG has been wasted.
All right, that's going to be my only two-handed grab, guys. Sorry. We're not going fast today. The reason on that one it doesn't matter is because I'm dropping down immediately anyway, which I could also do with the one-handed grab. So if I fall on the stairs here, I actually don't take damage. And I can take out the claw shots, which doesn't really matter. In like Ocarina of Time, quick drawing, stuff like that matters, but in TP, for items that go into first person, it's faster to press C up and then take them out anyway, even if they are in my hand, so. Okay, ready? One-handed.
All right, last
Ready?
Will we get a two-handed grab when it matters?
Okay.
Nope.
Oh.
We
Okay.
didn't get a single one. That mattered. Cool. Go away, Kirk. I hear you. Go away, please. Okay. He came for me.
The car arcs there can be very annoying.
I'm finding out new things this chair does. The armrest. But the other one doesn't. Doesn't make sense. Why'd I do that? Okay, so I accidentally targeted there. It doesn't really matter. It just means I'm gonna have to claw shot a little bit faster here now.
Yeah, if you're fast enough on these, you can make a cycle on the on the fan at the very top.
Okay, and I also, okay, well,
Believe, just believe.
I didn't believe hard enough.
Believe
sorry.
harder. It's still possible.
I keep targeting by accident. That was my fault. So on these first two fans, you don't want to target because you'll target the aerial foe. And because I target the aerial foe, I have to keep remembering that I can't target here at all because then they keep following me up. But, you know.
Yeah, so there's a way to quickly aim the claw shot while hanging off of another claw shot target with using the L trigger.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That fan room was not good.
That sound that you're hearing is Link equipping and unequipping the iron boots.
Oh, I didn't have them on. I listened to the wrong song.
The Arolfos is still there.
Yeah, no, they follow you the whole way up if you target them at the bottom. It's really dumb. Well, actually, I think if you target them once at the bottom, you can outrun them up, but if you target them twice, then they just follow you forever.
Hey, Zaylu, we got a question from the chat.
Okay, what is it?
Is there a button on the chair that teleports you to the Ganon fight?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find it.
I think there might be.
Please,
I
please,
think that
please,
was a
please, please,
statement,
please,
not a
please, please,
question. Two-handed?
Two-handed
Wait, was that
grab
two-handed?
and I
Not
did.
two-handed.
It was two-handed and I didn't get the dead pixel. I really thought I was gonna get a dead pixel there. That was too fast. Hello. I don't actually have to do it on this, but I want to. Do I risk the cool game? Yes or no?
No.
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 Not unless you save
Too
it.
bad! So I could have soft locked there. And I was waiting purposely to not get it, but I still almost got it. That was actually terrifying. So if you claw shot Argrok on the first frame there, you can actually soft lock the game.
The first 2 frames, and I think he claw shotted him on like the 3rd frame.
Yeah,
There's-
I claw shot him really
No,
early.
it's only the first frame.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that was 2.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 1 frame.
Yeah, if you claw shot on the first frame, then you are permanently stuck on Argarok. And you can fly around everywhere with him.
Alright, I just got word that people in chat are spoiling endgame. Y'all need to stop. Got it? Good. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do in this fight is actually void out. This is because it's going to put Argarok into his state where he's just like flying in the, or excuse me, he's going to put him in some state that's different than the one that he is now that's faster. I don't even know. My brain isn't a brain right now. Alright, and then I'm going to do something called some flame skips. The specific strat I'm doing is a strat made by DF, or Dracana. Alright, so I wait for a certain point. I wait until he starts breathing fire to claw shot onto the B-hat. And then after that, I wait until the fire actually comes out of his mouth to claw shot to then press down to go down on the B-hat and then claw shot onto the next one immediately after. that version of strat was made by DF. Not really anybody else besides me can use it, as far as I know. Maybe a couple other people do. Alternatively, you could just like do a very slightly different strat, but I think DF strat is a little bit faster. Alright. So on this third one, the attacks that Argruk does is a little bit different. So I can't actually do the same thing, but I can still skip most of his attack. So I'm going to claw shot here, and I'm going to actually take off the Iron Boots this time. I don't want them on. I'm going to wait for him to blow fire. Okay? And then I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to wait for the fire to cross this P-hat. I'm going to look at him. And then I'm going to take off the Iron Boots when he starts blowing fire again. It's really lenient to get this, and then I just have to claw shot a little bit higher up to hit him, and there we go. That's the fight. That was a pretty decent.
That was a good Narger.
That was a pretty decent fight.
In case it wasn't obvious, we're not beating Snow Peak or Temple of Time. Because you don't actually need those fused shadows. You only need the Arbiter's Grounds fused shadow and the fused shadow from City in the Sky.
Well, for the few shadows, you only need
Or not the
cities.
fused shadows, the Twilight.
What are you talking about? Are you awake, Ace?
No.
Okay.
The Mirror of Twilight.
You
Yes.
only need the last mirror shard. We beat Arbiter's Grounds because we need the portal to the mirror chamber to be able to go to Palace of Twilight. But you don't actually need that mirror shard. If you do stall or skip, you never get that mirror shard. Or actually, yes, you do. Okay, you know what? I don't know what I'm talking about either. Alright, so I'm getting that heart. So I need a heart there. I need full hearts because I'm going to be jumping off and taking a bunch of damage here. Alright, so I'm gonna jump slash when this cannon shoots me out, and that's gonna let me land on the bridge instead of landing in the water.
And take damage.
In this, okay, nice. In this route, landing in the water is not that big of a deal because I have Zora armor, but it's still a lot slower than just landing on that bridge and being able to warp pretty much right away. Trying to find more buttons. I think I found them all.
No, you didn't find the one that goes to Ganon yet.
Oh, that's my reset button.
Oh, yes, of course.
Want to see? Imagine like I'm joking around and I accidentally press it. That would have been bad too, because I haven't saved in 13 minutes or whatever. Alright, so Palace of Twilight, second to last dungeon in the game.
This dungeon is pretty much done as intended, although there are a lot of cool optimizations.
Yeah, there are theoretical ways that you could skip like sections of this dungeon, but we haven't figured out how to actually like incorporate them in such a way that they work.
So I can actually double hit a Zant head here by targeting and B attacking, and then just get him in one cycle without it warping away.
Yeah, so pretty much the entirety of this dungeon is getting a small key to progress to the next room.
Yeah. Is there any...
I guess the room with the boss... No, even the room with the boss key does that.
Every room.
Every room.
Every room except the ones to enter Phantom Zone.
Every room.
No, even... Oh, yeah, even...
Yeah, this dungeon has, what, 7 small keys?
Only 7?
There's not very many rooms.
The only one that doesn't need a small key is the one, is the early platform room. All the other ones need one, or need some type of key if you count the boss key.
No, the early
No, that one gets
platform rooms
that
need
one gets the small key.
It's right at the end.
It's at the top.
Oh yeah, yes you do. Okay, so every single room needs a key.
This is the first time both of us are realizing it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jim.
All right. I have to listen, so give me a second here. Oh man, the mixer's a little too far away. Whatever, it's fine. Okay, I did not hear that. Hello, where are you? Oh, well, this is unfortunate. Oh, wait. That might not be bad. That might be bad.
Save it. Maybe.
Depends where he spawns. Come here, idiots. Where are you? No. Come on, make it. No, please. Okay, I saved it. Kinda. So maybe surround isn't on because I heard him in my left ear.
I heard it on the right.
You heard it in the right? I heard it in my
You might have the
left.
headset on backwards.
Maybe.
Headset on backwards.
That's why I looked left. I was like, wait, it doesn't look. I would be able to see him if he was on my left, but I don't know. So I went instinctively because of that. I went back left and he wasn't there. Why didn't I throw this? Whatever, it's fine. It's just a little slower. Gotta wait a second here and roll. Okay, cool. It followed me anyway.
No L sliding. Wow.
There was a vermin there, so I would have just targeted it.
Still would have saved frame.
One singular frame.
Singular frame.
Singular.
In this 20-minute dungeon.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna throw the Poe over here. The Poe, yes, the Poe. The soul over there. You can't tell I'm really tired. All right, so fall shot here. I'm gonna do an L slide while I do that. That's gonna despawn the vermin that are supposed to appear right there. Which is actually really cool because if they hit you, you'll drop the post soul, but you'll probably fall down and lose like 30 seconds at least. Actually, no, more than that because you have to, depending on where you drop the soul, you'll probably have to wait for the hand to grab it before you could grab it to continue on with the with the room. Which takes forever because the hand moves incredibly slow. Alright, so we have the first post hole. And now we're gonna go grab the second one. Second one's more or less the same thing. The room's a little bit different. I think I'm close enough to just LJ here. I should be. Yeah, I'm good.
Barely.
Did you get scared?
I was shaking in my boots.
Shaking. That was really good RNG.
Yeah. So the Xant head there has a number of different random positions he can spawn in. So it's better to get the closest ones that you don't have to potentially go all the way forward and then try to backtrack and whatnot.
Please. Okay, well, I should just be attacked, or I should have charge attacked him again. I wasn't thinking. So I'm gonna try to claw shot onto this target before this sand head dies and starts the cutscene. That should be high enough. If I don't claw shot high enough there, then I have to do an extra claw shot. I want to try to skip a couple targets over here. Just go straight to this one. A little bit to the left. Spidey shot. Too far to the right or left. Nice.
I haven't seen that before.
Okay, let's see if my headset is on backwards. Okay, it's not. Okay, I didn't even hear him that time. Okay, that was really weird. I don't know why I didn't quick spin there. I didn't even slash, which is the weird part, but I guess I just didn't press B, or I pressed B too early. I don't know, interesting. Doesn't matter, fight worked out. Please. Nice. Nice. Okay. This room's a little bit tricky. You gotta jump across these platforms. You can take your time with it, or you could be like me, just hardcore parkour. Just kidding, you know, you're gonna take your time.
Yeah, losing the soul in this room really sucks. It's pretty much the worst room that you can lose it in.
Please. Okay. Finally done with the first half.
That one frame throw.
Saves about 2 seconds.
Oh, weird.
Oh.
Bad angle. I was gonna try to set it up off the ledge there.
Which would do absolutely nothing, but it looks cool.
What are you talking about? It would skip the cutscene.
Oh, yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
I believe it was called Yeet Skip.
Just skip the yeet. I got the yeehaw instead.
Yeah, so now that we've gotten the butter knife of a sword, we can make our way to the second half of the dungeon. bunch of small LJAs that you can do in this room to try to speed things up.
Okay, whatever. Kind of messed up the strat in this room, but it's fine. Alright. I'm about to sneeze. It's about to be really gross. I'm just letting everybody know. Or I'm not. Okay, I'm just gonna feel like I need to sneeze for the next 20 minutes. That's cool.
This will help you concentrate on your speedrun.
Definitely. Okay.
Something that I don't think we mentioned about long jump attacks where he targets the wall is that when you target the wall, usually the boomerang curves outwards, and what it does is it goes out of bounds over the void. Any out of bounds in any map is usually like there's usually a void underneath the map, so the boomerang is over the void, and that's what gets you the long jump attack. But sometimes the boomerang curves inwards. And if it curves inwards, then obviously it's not over the void, so you can't get a long jump attack off of that.
So yeah, for these last rooms before we go to fight Zant, the objective to get the small key is to just kill all of the Zant heads with our sword. And because we have the Master Sword filled with light, which we just pretty much always refer to as the Butter Sword, we can just defeat Zant heads in a single hit, no matter what the hit is.
I was really enjoying the claw shot clang sound on value stocks.
Please, 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 please. Unfortunate.
You're not supposed to directly claw shot that target. There's one target that you're supposed to target the claw shot before that one. Although, if you just aim properly and stand close enough, you can get that one.
Can I even do this? It's one heart, right?
Yeah, it's one heart.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's one heart. Make sure you don't get hit by the ball. Actually, I don't know if that's... No, oh my god. The time.
Please, heart, please, no! Please, oh my god, please, 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 heart, give it. Oh my god. Please.
Hope everyone's awake now.
Please. I swear if this card hits me, I swear, give me the key.
All three of us saw our life flash before our eyes when you jump attacked into that ball.
Yes!
There's a heart.
Ooh, I hope everyone's awake now. Because I sure am. Almost got sniped out of the air. I can't hear my Wii. Oh, okay. I just didn't assume.
This whole room is on a cycle. There's like, oh, not the whole room, but there's some light platforms at the top that you want to be fast enough to make.
4, 6. Wait. It's fine. That was like the earliest I could possibly do that.
Oh, well.
Good thing I got a heart. That's RNG. I'm pretty sure if he hits you. I'm not, no. We're claw-shotting this.
I mean, like, if Zelu does happen to die, unfortunately, in Twilight Princess, he'll just respawn back at the beginning of the room, so wouldn't be too bad, but obviously it's not preferable.
I think you still could have made that.
I missed the claw shot. If I got the claw shot, I would have made it.
No, like if you didn't miss the slash on the...
Oh.
Xanad.
Well, no, yeah. If I
think
missed
after
the
that
slash,
point it was...
I would have definitely gotten it. That's fine. That lasts like 18 seconds. I'm not risking it.
Oh my god, well, you...
What?
The jump attack across that gap.
It's an
scary.
LGA. I'll be fine.
It's still spooky.
The last small key.
This is a huge Monka S.
Do we not get? No, we get one in Hyrule Castle.
No, sorry, I meant in Palace of Twilight.
That is true.
Alright, this room's pretty fun.
At least in this room, you'll probably get hearts.
Probably.
It is possible to not get hearts in here, and I learned that the hard way. Wolf?
Fun.
Zelu, side hop spin attacks are not a thing.
I was testing it, you know.
Zelu, where's your fish armor?
You'll see in a minute.
All right.
Sorry, I portrayed the waifu.
I know. I'm so sad.
Listen, I didn't want to get one shot.
What's better, green tunic or blue tunic?
Blue, easy.
Blue, easily.
Let's stir up some controversy.
Well, Apasha's wrong, so.
He is wrong.
So one thing that's kind of interesting about the Zant fights here is that for most of these phases, the only hit that actually matters is the fourth hit of the sword combination. So you'll see that Zelu's going to be timing his sword slashes so that the first three are going to miss Zant, and the fourth one is going to get a guaranteed hit for most of these.
Damn it. I tried. There's a one cycle there. I was trying to do a strat that I didn't really know how to do, but it's better than the strat that I do know how to do. But it's fine. Okay, guys, waifu armor's coming back on. Don't worry. So because I have Zora armor here, I can just do this fight normally. In the routes that you do not get Zora armor, you would normally use bombs to refill your air in here.
Zelu is also holding different directions on the control stick during each hit of the combination to get the fastest set of swings possible. Because Link's sword slashes do differ depending on like whether or not you're holding a control stick in a direction or not.
Alright, it's time for the only reason that we went to Snow Peak.
Was that a clockwise quick spin out of that bucket attack?
Listen, sometimes bad spins are good. Okay.
Well,
Okay, I don't know
got
what's
him.
happening. How did that happen twice? I'm so confused.
It's okay, you have an excuse. It's 5:30 a.m.
It's not 5:30. It's 5:30. Alright, it's time for drunk boxing.
so once again, only the 4th hit is what's important.
I'm surprised I hit him with
Yeah,
that.
I was about to say
that was
that.
really far away.
I
And
just
it
slapped
was
him.
like a diagonal slash too.
Just slapped him with the sword instead of stabbing.
Should be an option where Link can just throw his sword at enemies.
Yeah, why can't he do that? Should be like Breath of the Wild.
It'd be so much easier to defeat Ganondorf if you could just lance the Master Sword into his cranium.
Okay. I walked onto the wrong. I walked onto the wrong part of the ledge.
And so, with the Palace of Twilight behind us, all that's left is to go to Hyrule Castle and get a 15-cycle Zelda.
Oh no, I'm going for a Zelda world record. We're going for that
Oh.
hot 20.
You're going for the hot 20 cycle.
Hot
I mean,
20
if you just
cycles.
fail to like return the ball,
We're just gonna lose literally 3 minutes to Zelda. So I gotta skip the snowman text again. But this time as a fish.
and with the ball.
With the ball and chain.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna use the ball and chain to jump over. I'm gonna hit myself with the ball and chain.
We said damage boosting and TP wasn't useful.
Alright. Nap time. Oh my. Okay.
All right.
I think I actually just unplugged my mic.
No, I can still hear you.
Oh,
Okay,
you're
good.
Yeah.
My Wii is like caught on it. There we go. Now I can take my nap.
I would not doubt that Zayla would actually fall asleep right now.
Yeah, that's why my eyes are open because I actually would.
Zayla getting snug over there.
You can essentially live in that chair. Wow.
Is it time for school?
Spooky choir voices. So obviously it would save quite a bit of time in this game if we could get to Hyrule Castle early without having to like beat Palace of Twilight or anything like that. Unfortunately, we can't do that, so there are like I don't want to say theories, but there are like weird things you can do in the map before Hyrule Castle, but unfortunately none of them really lead to anything.
I don't know why this third one didn't come up with me. He should have went out with his friends, but he didn't. I think it was because I was in a weird position. Probably should have been a little bit further to the right. All right, barrier skip. Here we go. Oh man.
Oh. Well.
Twilight Princess has barrier skip.
There's 2 of them. Yes.
No, you can also skip the first one. So.
Oh man, he's gonna follow me. All right.
He's ready.
I didn't get the double fall.
Barely
or the double
not.
cutscene. Oh.
Hello.
This is the first, I think.
All right.
I'm so confused.
Wait, I wonder if he'll... Oh, wait. Is he...
He's still there. He's alive.
Is he going to come up to you during the cutscene?
No, I think he's idling.
I heard him make a sound, though.
Yeah.
Where is he?
Nothing personal. Just comes up on...
I still hear him.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's just idling. All right, what do we name this guy?
Damn. I targeted him.
Wait, you targeted
He
the bubble?
targeted the Bacopa.
I couldn't even backflip because I targeted him.
Targeted
So you can get a 1 frame back
Barry.
there.
Barry.
Barry.
Barry the Bacopa.
Barry the very merry Bacoblin.
So you can get a 1 frame backflip there and pause during it to save quit and save like 4 seconds. However, since Barry was over there, I targeted onto him, so I couldn't backflip anymore.
It changed the camera angle slightly.
Barry the buzzkill.
All right, barrier skip number 2.
A little early.
It was actually Barry that killed King Bubbin.
If you have no sword coming into here, can you defeat King Bulblin like that? It's actually a good theoretical question.
Can enemies hurt each other if they...
Well, yeah, Bacoblins can't hurt other Bacoblins, but I don't know, maybe King Bulblin is special.
Good luck getting a Bacoblin to hit King Bubbin with that hitbox. What?
What?
I got hit with the sheath. That's actually the first time I've ever gotten that strat. I just want to point that out.
So there's actually 2 different paths you can take up this part of Hyrule Castle. One of them requires the bow, but thankfully one of them only requires the lantern. Because we never got the bow since we skipped doing the Goron Mines dungeon.
Yeah, that's convenient that we don't have to do another dungeon just to get one item that we use once. Thanks. There we go. Alright, this room's gonna be really stupid.
Yeah, so it's really easy to kill these guys with a bomb, but we don't have bombs, unfortunately.
Oh my god. Please. Oh my god. Please. Okay, well, we're doing this. Okay,
That works.
it worked.
Pass.
Please. So actually this door, it doesn't matter if you do left or right, you always come out the same way.
Yeah, the double doors in Hyrule Castle are an exception to the enter left or the entering right is faster over left rule that applies everywhere else.
I still do it out of force of habit.
So the ball and chain was supposed to hit the arrow flows on the way back to Link. And finish it off.
Nice.
All right, nap time.
No, this is chat time.
So this map that we're on right now is actually a separate map from the regular courtyard that we are in when we first come into Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, there's not a way that you can just like come up here from down below, unfortunately. Even if you could jump, I mean, there's not really a way you could jump that high anyway in this game.
But think about moon jump percent.
Yeah, for a moon jump. For the ROM hack culture.
I am genuinely shocked you didn't fall.
I'm better than that, Ace. Who do you think I am, Adam? I'm bullying Adam, I'm sorry. Who do you think I am, Ace? There you go. Who else wooded there?
What happened to the music?
No clue. It just got real tired.
Oh.
Okay.
It's fine. Everything is okay. Shout out to DF.
Everything was. You were so close hitting that tree.
It's fine.
It's
Everything
fine.
is okay.
Everything is fine.
We're all right, guys. Everything is fine.
All right. We have now entered the arena of the PB decider, the RNG Punisher, Puppet Zelda herself.
All right, everybody, let's count.
So we have a minimum 7 cycles that Zelda can do. So we want to hope that she starts off with an energy ball. Oh, all right. Starting off with the worst attack, which means at least an 8 cycle.
Yeah, it's 2.
Nice break slide.
Gotta impress, you know. Cool.
Dad attack again. Yeah, aside from the energy ball, the 2 attacks that Zelda can do are that triangle attack that she just did, and she can also charge at you with the sword.
What matters more than the attack is the time between attacks. It's actually random to an extent.
Yeah. And we may still be on pace here for an 8th cycle.
That was 5. 6. We could tell when it's a triangle attack before it happens because the camera zooms out, by the way. That was 6, this is 7.
Oh,
8? Question mark?
no, she's not gonna give you another one. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
We're stuck on 2 forever. All right.
There you go. Okay.
All right. So for this fight, Zelu's going to be doing a specific amount of
Just
damage.
kidding.
Oh, never mind.
Guess not.
Yeah, normally in this fight, you'd do a specific amount of damage for the first 2 cycles so that you'd get a faster 3rd cycle.
What?
You didn't get there.
Oh, I wasn't there fast enough.
Yes.
Still
Well, I
works.
mean,
That works.
Still gonna have to transform. Whatever. And this is gonna be RNG now. You could keep explaining what I messed up, I guess.
Yeah, so if he did the proper amount of damage in the first 2 phases, then this phase right here would have only spawned 1 portal that Ganon would have immediately jumped out of, or ran out of.
That was the best portal RNG, though.
Yeah,
that was 4.
considering I
That was
failed
4,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah, 4 is the fastest
I
one.
thought you
Yeah.
were at 3.
Thanks, Sip. All right, so last 2 fights of the run. All right, so first things first is first back. This fight is really lame, like super, super lame. It's not hard, but it's very easy to mess up and really tests your Hanzo skills. All right, come on.
Yeah, so you want to get behind Ganondorf as he's riding away. And Ganondorf is only vulnerable once Zelda shoots a light arrow at him.
Hanzo main, by the way. They call me Dollar Tree Hawkeye. All right,
Alright.
so we're up to the last minute of the run.
Time will be coming up very soon.
Yep.
As soon as the Master Sword enters Ganondorf's abdomen. So this final fight is kind of a joke. Takes like less than 15 seconds to do in the run. Basically just do a jump slash quick spin behind Ganondorf 3 times in a row. Also put on the iron boots. Alright, thank you.
And
time.
All right, well, that was a ride. I guess last thing to say for that run was a lot of stuff happened to me in the last month, so it was really hard to get here into this run, but you know, I tried my best. I hope you guys were entertained. Hope I got you through, you know, graveyard shift well enough. So just shout outs to my commentator, shout outs to the rest of the TP community, the audience. Shout-outs. And shout-outs to my fruit bat. And yeah, hope you guys have a good night.
All right. Thank you guys for watching that graveyard shift with us. I want to go to bed, Ace.
Yeah, that was a good idea.
All right, we're going to go to bed.
I feel like a zombie.
See you guys later.